on their own, isn't that splitting the party by definition?
No, that's basically victimizing a single person. Okay, we are recording. Let's.
I'm just getting a beer.
Edward, take us in.
Previously on Dark Heresy.
Dun dun dun. I'll just wait for Johnny to get back.
That's ruined it.
Previously on Dark Heresy, a long pause.
Success.
Okay, let's do this. So, after returning away from your secondments, you were briefed by Inquisitor Varrak on some matters that had occurred during your time away. It seemed Varrak's reports on Iacanthos and the Black Cylinder had been leaked, and, he suspected, found their way into the hands of an Inquisitor with a questionable reputation, Inquisitor Antonia Mesmeron. It appeared that Mesmeron had falsified the death of another Inquisitor, one Inquisitor Lystug, a man who did not appear to exist according to the records of the Tricorn Palace. This act by Mesmeron, falsifying the death of Lystug, enabled her to order some Arbites into the Dromar district, where they eventually found the body of Grek Fortis, the man who had seemingly arranged for Midan's shuttle crash to occur so that he could acquire the Black Cylinder on behalf of Theodosia, the same man who was also involved with Seth the Voice being cybernetically modified, and putting the ancient corrupted dagger into the hands of Silas Malor. You then travelled with Inquisitor Varrak to the heart of the Tricorn Palace and witnessed a meeting between Lord Zerbe, the head of the Tyrantine Cabal, who Varrak informed you were a group of Inquisitors who collectively investigated the threat of the Tyrant Star, Black Sun, or Comus, as it's sometimes called. There, from behind a privacy screen, shielding you from view, you witnessed the Lord Inquisitor accuse Mesmeron of a great many heresies, including the aforementioned falsifying of records, stealing files from Varrak himself, as well as consorting with the Xenos and the Demon. Mesmeron grew angry, claiming she saw no one present with the authority to accuse her thusly, before leaving to prepare a defence for her denunciation, which, if she were to be found guilty of these charges, would lead to her being incarcerated, exiled, or perhaps even executed for her crimes. At the end of the meeting, Varrak spoke with Inquisitor Soldavan, a man who carried a brain in a jar, who had been hidden behind a second privacy screen. Soldavan said he thought Mesmeron would run, rather than face the charges, and Varrak replied that he hoped she would, as she was no use to him in a cell. Back at the Hereticus Tower, in Varrak's briefing room, Inquisitor Globus Varrak explained to you a little of the nature of the so-called Hereticus Tenebrae, a prophecy that concerns and predicts the emergence of the Black Sun. He told you that the prophecy predicted that a manifestation of this dark and mysterious terror was to occur soon, although where in the sector this would happen was anyone's guess. Lord Zerbe, you learned, had issued deployment orders to each Inquisitor who claimed membership to the Tyrantine Cabal, dispatching them to worlds where there had been disturbances in the warp of late. These warp disturbances, Varrak explained, could be the result, or a prelude to a great many things, or nothing at all. But Lord Zerbe wished to have someone present at as many locations as possible, in an attempt to witness the terrible nature of the Tyrant Star. Your own master, Inquisitor Varrak, was ordered to remain on Scintilla, the sector capital, as the warp at the edge of the system had been worryingly turbulent of late. The next day, Varrak briefed you on your next mission. It seemed an old friend of his, Lord Strophes, had misplaced his niece, Sire. And after the Magistratum had failed to find anything about her, Lord Strophes had dispatched some of his own men, who learned that Sire had been spending time with the Joyous Choir, a new and growing offshoot of the Imperial cult, and that this choir scanned new members with modified auspexes, and would proclaim certain members were becoming true, a term used to refer to those who most exemplified the cult's beliefs, that the Emperor just wanted everyone to be happy. One of Lord Strophes' men managed to acquire one of these auspexes, and passed it on to Inquisitor Varrak, who in turn showed it to you, and Ishmael discovered it contained crystalline circuitry, similar to that found in the Black Cylinder and Seth the Voice's modified Vox units. It seemed, upon closer inspection, that these Auspex devices were able to detect psychers. Varrock ordered you to head to the Strophes estate, where Lord Strophes had agreed to put you all up during your investigation into this joyous choir. Varrock ordered you to remain incognito, to not reveal your nature as agents of the Inquisition to anyone except Strophes and his daughter, Julia, and to remain out of contact with the Tricorn Palace until the investigation was complete. He then announced he was leaving Scintilla for a few weeks, against the orders of Lord Zerbe. Dun dun dun! The next day, you headed to the Strophes estate, posing as a distant cousin of Lord Strophes, and his new bride, and their entourage, visiting from distant Finksworld. At the Strophes estate, you met Julia, Laurent's daughter, who took you to meet the Lord himself, and you were given the run of the house, but advised to watch what you said around the staff of the house, as such people are known to gossip. The entire second floor of the East Wing was given over to you as isolated quarters, where the servants had been instructed not to enter unless ordered, and there you began to prepare for your investigation. Okay, so I'm going to assume that everyone has taken their entire inventories with them, because you do have this manor as basically a base of operations. So you can, basically you've got luggage with everything on you, and we'll cover what you're carrying when it becomes relevant. Okay? Right. Beginning of a new adventure. Rejoice, for you are true. Day 1. You awake after spending a night in Lord Strophes' manor. You dress and head down to breakfast. Laurent and Julia are both already seated in the dining room. "Good morning, I trust you slept well," asks Laurent.
Yes, thank you, my lord.
Yes, thank you.
The servants
Indeed.
bring out some breakfast
Blessings of the
meals.
Emperor be upon you, my lord.
Indeed.
Bed was too soft.
As the servants bring out the breakfast meals, Julia enters and sits down, and she says, "There is a party tomorrow evening, hosted by Lady Tane Barella, a known patron of the Joyous Choir. Among the guests, I assume, will be a number of other members of the choir. If you can impress one or more of them, I believe it may be possible for you to gain an invite to the Alabaster Court, a rather selective upper echelon of the Joyous Choir, and rumour has it, the personal congregation of the head of the cult itself. I've arranged for a tailor and dressmaker to visit today. We'll get you measured up for some attire in preparation for the party. The current trend amongst the nobility of the spires is rather gaudy, I'm afraid, but needs must. Once that little business is taken care of, we will work on etiquette, some dancing. I'll brief you on one or two of the more unusual Scintillan customs you might encounter. It'll be fun!" And Lord Strophes gives his daughter the side-eye for a moment and says, "Yes. Meanwhile, I've arranged for my man Orde, the man who found the Auspex units, to meet you at around 2 p.m. in a Mid Hive drinking establishment called the Barking Saint. He claims he's leaving the Hive soon, so it's our last opportunity. So some of you will have to go there while Julia deals with the, and he looks around at you all, nobles amongst you. Make sure you take your identification with you. It'll make re-entry to the spire far easier." Okay. So, what's going to happen? Just wait for Leanne. She's just disappeared. I see Alan's in full character mode.
Cheers.
It is a bit warm. No, the heating's
I'm not
on.
allowed to black up.
Not in these troubled times, Dick. Not in these troubled times.
You might get cancelled.
So,
Yes!
Johnny's joining in as well. Look.
the idea is, I mean, the original plan was you were each given a role to play. You can amend that if you want. It's your cover. But the cover that Varrock gave you was Vladmir is the distant cousin of Lord Strophes and his daughter Julia. Mira is his new wife. Ramsey is their valet. Derekles is their moral chaperone. Ishmael is technical advisor because Vladmir is a bit of a gun nut. That's the cover story. Ishmael's there to basically verify any weapons he finds interesting. And Dick is bodyguard to the newlyweds. You can change that if you want. That's up to you as a group. The plan is
Your souls are in safe hands.
whoever plays the nobles and whoever else you want to will stay behind on this first day and learn how to conduct themselves in high society, while the rest of you head down into the Mid Hive to meet this man or day who found the auspexes. There will be time on the second day for those who go to the Mid Hive to also participate in this sort of thing and learn how to behave. But the idea is that the nobles will take the lead, so get more lessons. So, how would you like to split the party in this regard?
Well, I'm really good with my tongue.
So I'm told.
Well, there's a bounty hunter called Naeus who can vouch for that.
Isn't dancing tantamount to heresy?
It can be, young Derek.
It depends on the dance.
No, I don't mind dancing. I can do a few tribal jumps.
Julia says, I assure you, Brother Derekles, the dancing that takes place in the upper hive is quite morally sound.
So,
Do they have a fire in the middle?
No, unfortunately, Dick. There may be a fireplace. I've never been to Lady Barella's mansion before, but I would
so
doubt
that's
it was
like-
in the middle of the room.
Yes.
Ah, well,
So, do you just dance around the fireplace then?
Generally, the dancing takes place in a ballroom with a group of musicians providing the beat.
Is that a room the shape of a ball?
No, it is not. It is a square room. I do say, you're carrying this cover of being from Thanksworld rather well.
Why, thank you. I'm good for my role. You know, bye.
So, anyone else? You can also ask questions of the nobles at the minute. But their main concern at the minute is how you would like to split the party.
right.
So I think me, Mira,
Yeah, we,
go to this etiquette lesson, I suppose.
yeah, you
I
Should I go?
don't know. Do you want to learn a bit of manners, Pincher? It wouldn't do you any harm.
I think it
We're
might
going to
help.
need some social skills in the other half. What's the other half again, Dave?
So half of you are going to stay at the mansion and learn etiquette, dancing, how to interact, and that'll change depending on what your role is. So a noble, for example, will be taught how to interact with other
I don't know,
nobles.
like maybe that's simple for me as a valet as well. And
I mean, yeah,
Perhaps.
the entourage members will also be learn, when you can speak to the nobles and how to address them and things like that. The half that don't undertake the lessons today will go into the Mid Hive to meet this Orday character. And then the next day, there'll be chance for everyone to get lessons. So basically what it means is some of you will have more lessons than others.
So does that mean I tell nobles how to dress?
No.
How do you dress a noble then?
You'll understand, Mr. Pincher. Fear not.
It does sound like Pincher is in the greatest need of some lessons in etiquette. So whom do we suggest heading off to meet all day then? Ishmael, would you like to go?
Yeah, I think I should do because about the prospects.
And no, yeah, and no one expects etiquette, I suppose, from a tech priest, do they? So any social faux pas wouldn't go amiss. I don't expect.
Yeah, I think you also all have different pluses and minuses interacting with different people depending on your character backgrounds, and I think one of Ishmael's is religious people.
Mhm.
And obviously,
So,
I get a minus in high society.
yeah, you do, yeah.
So whom else should we send? We can't send Ishmael on his own. We need someone to watch his back.
I could join him.
Should I go?
Young Derek? I honestly think you need some lessons in manners, Pincher.
What do you fucking mean?
Well, did I stutter?
I think you did.
You're the bodyguard as well, aren't you? So you can't be a
Now,
bodyguard if you're not with him.
now, Dick. Don't take offence. It's merely a precautionary measure. Just to
So-
get
Right. First we got to dress nobles, and now it's taking someone's fence. Whose fence are we taking?
So Ishmael and Derek. Will that? And then the rest of us for dancing lessons. Well, what fun we shall have learning to dance.
If that's how you want to split the party, that's absolutely fine.
Oh, what do you guys think? Are you in agreement with that, or?
We're going to need some like perception and interaction, like social skills for this other bloke that we're interacting with.
I've got social skills.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Talk the talk.
So this guy that
What's Pincher's role?
bodyguard.
Just general mischief, I think.
Yeah, I don't think bodyguards really need that much etiquette. He obviously
No.
needs training in civilization, but
Exactly.
yeah.
Civilization.
Do you get a bodyguard to be civilized? All he needs to do is get in the way of you and a bullet.
No, I'm just thinking of the bigger picture here.
Yeah.
The Pincher.
Oh, okay.
I don't mind. Maybe Pincher should go with the other group then, and me,
Well, I'm not sure.
Ramsey, and Mira then.
Ramsey should come with us. He's a valet, so you don't really need to have any etiquette, does he?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think I might need it more than a bodyguard.
Yeah, probably.
Carrying bags, aren't you? That's all you're doing.
Well, I think there's more to valeting than that.
Yeah, I think so. I think I'll be more like his butler.
It's like a manservant role.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So should we split in half then? Go me, Mira, and Ramsey, and then Derek, Pincher, and Ishmael.
That sounds good to me. I don't need to be polite to anybody in it.
Well, that remains to be seen, Pincher. But I think some training in manners wouldn't go amiss.
I mean, like I say, there is going to be day
How
2.
much time do you think you got, Al?
Thank you,
How much
please.
time do you honestly think you got?
Well, the journey of 1,000 steps. No, that's not right.
Like I said though,
Journey of 1,000 steps begins with a single mile. No, that's not right.
like I said, there is going to be day 2 to
because
learn
steps.
stuff, and obviously not everyone will need to learn everything. A bodyguard and a valet wouldn't necessarily need to learn how to
Dave,
dance.
you sound like a robot.
Oh,
No, he sounds, Johnny, he sounds fine to me, mate. I don't know, like you said it a couple of times, and Dave sounds fine to me throughout tonight. So I think it might just be at your end, buddy.
And with that, is disconnected.
who's that?
Hang on.
Johnny's saying that Dave sounds like a robot, but to me, Dave's been fine all the way through.
Yeah,
Johnny's mentioned it a couple of times that Dave sounds like a robot.
How's that, Johnny?
That's better.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, loads better.
I think it has something to do with the connection.
Yeah.
So,
It's
If you,
bandwidth.
can you, what do you call it, tether your phone and use that connection? How much bandwidth does your phone have?
He is using his phone.
what?
Oh, okay. Are you using your phone's connection, or are you using like a Wi-Fi?
I'm using my phone's connection now. I just tried Wi-Fi, but it was still robotic on both.
Yeah,
so-
it'll be because there's other devices or something using your bandwidth.
Yeah, basically. So
Yeah.
I've just got on mobile data now, so that'll be right.
So have we come to a decision?
I believe so. We're going to split 50-50.
Yeah.
Me,
I'm
Mira,
not
and...
sure if like Ramsey needs to be there for dancing lessons, really.
Well, not so much, but, you know...
On day 2, we've still got etiquette lessons as well, okay?
You can have any lessons you want from Julia.
On the
What do you think, Ramsey? What do you think?
I think I need to know how to strut my stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Can I try charm Julia?
Come along.
Yeah, I can swap with Pincher. Like, I don't really have that many social skills. I've got a half decent fellowship. I've got some.
Mine's terrible, that's all.
Yeah, I've got a decent perception, but then I don't have scrutiny skills either. So
I've got nice.
I just, I think we may be overthinking this a little bit too much, and yeah, let's just make a choice and
Yeah, I agree.
get cracking on.
Okay.
Let's just go and see what happens.
So, stay in for lessons. We've got.
No, I'd like to train because I don't want to give something away as the valet because I might be handed by all sorts of nobles, and as an abhuman as well, I won't be getting any respect. So I'll just play the serve.
So me, Ramsey, and Mira then, and then Derek, Ishmael, and Pincher.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Righty ho.
Cool. What could possibly go wrong?
I can think of a lot.
Lord Strophes gives Ishmael, Derekles, and Dick the use of a ground car. Can anyone drive?
No.
I'll have a go.
He also provides you with a driver.
We will take the driver, thank you.
And he drives you. He drives you to the edge of the upper hive, where he basically gives you directions down into the Mid Hive, and you've been given some maps as well, which will show you the vague direction of the Barking Saint, the drinking establishment. So if you three want to have a look at your inventories while I deal with the other three and decide what equipment you want to take with you, I will crack on with everything else.
Okay. So what's the purpose of our journey? What we doing this person?
You're going to meet the man who found the altered auspex.
Right. Okay.
He's told Lord Strophes he's got some information. And so Lord Strophes has basically told him, I'm sending some people to collect the information from you.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
I'm just going to take what I'm wearing and put my posh clothes on.
Okay.
And put my posh clothes on.
Don't go on, Pincher.
We have posh.
No, I've got it. Everything I need. That's our wrong guy. I've got everything I need.
Very good.
Okay. The rest of you, Vladmir, Mira, and Ramsey. Julia leads you from the breakfast hall into another dining room, a much larger, more spacious dining room, and begins instructing you on the correct manner of consuming food and drink in high society. What type of cutlery go with certain dishes, which of the many drinks accompanies the various food types. She also instructs you on the correct titles to use with people of rank. Military types are obviously to be addressed by rank, as should members of the clergy. Nobles should be addressed as lord or lady accordingly. She also instructs you that while it is indeed considered good form to ask after family members, the fortunes of the businesses of other nobles and the like, it is considered ill-mannered to ask after specific family members unless they are personal friends or acquaintances, and matters of business should be kept vague. Trivial details such as production rates, shipping manifests, profits and the like are considered private affairs to be discussed at the correct time and place, and are often dealt with by underlings anyway. Entourage members are expected to have some sort of skill or talent, and they can display on request, or be exceptionally witty or fun to look at. The more intelligent ones are permitted to engage in conversation with discussion with other nobles, but are expected to defer to their patrons. Entourage members are also, however, permitted to speak with the retinue members of other nobles, which is a great way to pick up and spread gossip. This is also the manner in which many nobles set up illicit encounters, romantic and otherwise, as they use their followers as go-betweens. Insulting a noble is never a good idea, especially in public. and on Scintilla can often lead to a trip to the blood squares and ultimately a duel. The most important rule to remember in order to avoid this, or not, if one so desires, is to never insult another's ancestor or lineage. Also, nobles of Hive Sibyllus take great pride in their collections of artifacts. Insulting a given possession or calling its authenticity into question is a surefire way of starting a fight. And finally, the nobles of Scintilla place little value on the lives of mid-hivers and see the lower hivers as little more than worthless trash. Such things seldom arise in situations such as high society parties, but Julia tells you to not be surprised if some of your entourage or even the servants appeared to be treated somewhat poorly. So, what I'm going to need is some rolls from you three. Just a second. Find my
Go on,
pins.
ask how the Ranthus, ask how the family is, see what business is doing, and tell them the smell.
So,
Go back to Dixon. Finish
where's my
roll.
fucking pen gone? Where's my pen gone?
Insult their mother.
Yeah. Ask
Your
how
mother
the
is
fat
not
child's been
authentic.
doing.
That painting's rubbish.
How's that fat wench of beast of a mother doing of you?
You're
And
calling
what's
her
your
rubbish.
family affairs? And
Pathetic.
how's trade?
So, Vlad,
Hello.
this etiquette lesson goes on for about 2 hours. There's basically a mock meal. Julia engages you in fake conversation, gives you pointers, teaches you the correct ways to address people. I would like you to make a fellowship test at +10 for the coaching.
Okay. It's a pass. 2 degrees.
And then another one, please.
+10 again.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Mira, I would like you also to make 2 fellowship rolls at +10.
What dice is it again? 20.
D100. 2 D10s.
Oh, it's been ages. Why ain't I got my dice ready? Hang on. Sorry.
So if you click on the chat, that's it, yeah.
How do I do this again?
/R space D100. And another one. And then on the next time, I'll show you a little fancy trick.
Yeah, sorry, what was it again?
/R space D100. So 45 you're rolling against. So you've got a pass and a fail with 3 degrees. Okay. Ramsey,
Yo.
I would like the same from you, please. 2 fellowship tests at +10.
At once, my lord.
More work?
Very good.
Bearing in mind, Ramsey, that when we get into the real party, you get a -5 to interact with nobility, but a +10 when interacting with the military.
Okay. Right. Hold on. Ah, yes.
Why can I not see that? What's happening?
It's taking a while for my stuff to come up. So do that at +10, do you say, Dave?
Yes,
Yeah.
on both of them. Wow.
Okay.
Taking these lessons to
Fucking
heart.
hell, look at this.
What on, Governor?
The little abhumans fucking soaking it up.
Yeah.
How?
Must be my furry feet.
The promise of noble wine and food.
Right, so Leanne, the way you do that, shut that dice roller down. Bring up your character sheet. Right, scroll down to your whatever stat you want. For example, fellowship. It's at the bottom of the middle column. There, look.
Oh, yeah.
If you click on the word fellowship, and then it opens a little window there, you can put 10 there. That's your plus 10. And then press submit, and it'll roll it and tell you how many degrees of success. Yeah. Okay.
So that's roll D10, yeah?
No, that's rolling D100
Oh,
and
right.
adding 10 to it.
Oh.
Adding 10 to your skill, sorry.
Right.
Okay. Right. So that's the first couple of hours of the morning. Meanwhile, Ishmael, Derekles, and Dick.
It's like my comedy trio. Ishmael, Derekles, and Dick.
As you
went out until they were sick.
as you head out to the ground car, Lord Strophes follows you. He says, "I've arranged for my man Orde to meet you in an establishment known as the Barking Saint. We don't have much time. He claims he's leaving Hive Sibyllus soon. Sounded rattled to me. The maps I provided you should give you a rough indication of the location of the bar. Good luck. Remember, take your ID. Getting back into the upper Hive is harder than getting out. Do you have any questions before you go?"
Just so we're not barking up the wrong tree. Are these maps right?
He says, "They're as accurate as I believe they can be, yes."
How do we address this person if he's rattled? Is he custom to our type?
He's a former naval armsman, worked for me back in the days when I still captained a ship. He has no particular rank or title. He's just an average everyday man, works as a bounty hunter these days.
And the bounty hunter is rattled. That it must be big. Okay.
Yes.
My lord, can we expect any trouble?
Trouble? Well, young Derekles, it's the Mid Hive. Trouble will only find you if you go looking.
So when I meet this man, I tell him how to dress.
No, you don't have to tell him how to dress, Pincher.
But how do you address a man otherwise?
Just get the information from him and come back, and everything will be fine. Okay. Leanne, would you be so kind as to serve your one true purpose in life and bring me a couple of beers?
Yeah.
Thank you. Any other questions before?
I saw that guilty slaver face.
Oh dear. I've got
Guilty
a tiny whip down here.
Guilty flavor.
Guilty slaver face.
Yes, but I might be a dirty, guilty slaver, but in 3 generations' time, my offspring will be millionaires. Or is that not done anymore? I don't know.
Yeah, but your statue will be getting pulled down.
Chucked in a
All
river.
right. As long as set up people of colour.
Any other questions for Lord Strophes before you set off? Okay. Thank you, darling. So,
Is there a secret passcode when I see him?
no,
let's go.
nothing like that's been set up.
Okay.
Secret handshake.
His name's Volin Orde. That's all you know.
Volin.
Okay, so you
Volin.
set off in the ground car, driving through the upper hive, and some of you have seen parts of the upper hive before. when you've been travelling around the Tricorn Palace and when you've been to Wilson's Wonderful Weapons. But in this occasion, you see a very different part of the Upper Hive. There's lots of mansions, lots of estates. You even see one or two gardens under domes. It's a very well-to-do area. Who's hissing, by the way? I'm getting a lot of noise off somebody.
Sorry, is it me?
I don't
It's
know.
probably me squeaking on
No,
this
I'm
chair.
getting a lot of just general background noise off somebody, and I can't figure out who it is.
Is it
Try some mute one at a time.
I'll
yeah.
Yeah.
mute myself for a second. I'll mute.
So it might be my heat.
Yeah,
solution.
it's James.
Could-
It
could be
cuts
you,
out
Danny, I
when you
think.
when you
Might be
speak.
mine.
It seems to drop in and out when James speaks, and it's stopped completely now. Yeah.
Yeah, I've muted him. The blessed silence.
Blessed
Yeah,
silence.
like a fuzzy does.
Yeah, he wants.
I was going to say, have you
The fan's on my fucking laptop.
have you got a headset, James? That might knock it off a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, be right back.
Okay. Let's wait for him to get back before we proceed.
Some noises, until they actually go away, you don't realise that they're there.
Yeah, it's
Rolling all day.
just making it difficult when two people cross over a little bit. It blurs the line between them a bit.
Ah, this camera makes my eyes do the Vikings thing. That just looks. That's cool. So it's like they've extra blued my eyes up.
The fuck was that?
Test 1, 2.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah,
No
yeah,
hiss.
loads better.
Lovely.
Okay. So, it takes more than an hour for you to travel from Lord Strophes' estate to the nearest passage that leads down to Hive Sibilus's Mid Hive. As you approach the opening to the city below, the polished tile floors and decadent wall carvings slowly give way to old, cracked pavement and featureless grey walls. A line of heavily armed, green-coated magistratum troops bearing long, ornately embellished poles ending in brilliant brass lanterns await you at the top of a massive spiralling series of broken stairs that stretch down into the darkness below. They eye you with a mixture of amusement and contempt as you pass them by. Nobody checks your ID. The lights of the stairwell are tarnished, come from tarnished pipes from which emerge blue flames, many of which continually threaten to go out the further you descend. And as you get lower and lower into the mid-hive, the sounds of heavy machinery churning in the distance rise to meet you, as does the harsh creaking of stone foundations. The stairwell soon levels off, eventually opening up onto a small courtyard filled with grey-robed workers, hawkers offering various stick-impaled meats of dubious origin, children with badges signifying which comm service they work for, dashing about carrying messages, and a priest wearing flame-emblazoned robes spraying spittle on those about him as he exhorts them all to give up their licentious ways. The floor shudders with the constant activity of the Mid-Hive's factoria, and stone dust continually filters down from the countless tons of compacted broken masonry above your heads. What little light there is emanates from guttering tallow candles set in a wide variety of twisted and ancient metal fixtures, coated in millennia of wax. The scent of loam is heavy in the air, and the shadows are long. You follow the maps provided to you by Lord Strophes until you find yourself in a large region. I've forgotten the name of the region. Excuse me a moment. Signposted simply with graffiti called The Hustle. A sprawling area built out of collapsed statues, ruined mansions, and within this area, homes, shops, and businesses have been set up. And it's quite bustling, quite metropolitan. A lot of people from a lot of different walks of life go about their business. as you're on your way towards the location marked on your map of the Barking Saint, is there anything you'd like to do? Say to each other, look out for, anything like that?
I would, looking around me and being an Icanthian, just looking at disgust at all this concrete. Just gonna say, who would choose to live here in this godforsaken rock? God, look, there's children wearing badges.
Those who do not have a choice, Dick. Those who do not have a choice.
There's a dismal place to grow up. There's no sun. I don't know how anybody would want to live in a place like this.
It's more,
Anyway.
more of an existence, really.
Sorry. Let's just get back on it. It was just an observation.
Do not pity them. They do the Emperor's work.
I don't pity no one. I
Can
just
we
spit on the
do
weak.
some sort of awareness test if we're being followed or anything?
Yeah, sure. If you want to make a awareness test.
I'll make one as well.
A plus 20 it will be as well.
In the modifier box, you just write 20.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, can't say a thing. Got my helmet on.
Success with 5.2 degrees.
Okay.
Wow.
I will make one as well.
Okay.
Awareness. Whoa. With a plus 20? What?
Dick, you glance around as you walk through this hustle and bustle of the hustle, and it's all a bit overwhelming to you still. Although you have become a little bit more accustomed to city life, this is still overwhelming for you. It's teeming with people,
Yeah, I don't like
much
it.
more than
I
the
really
upper
don't like
hive.
it.
In fact,
This is actually like real Hayden.
yeah, this is a busy place. This is busier than the original Mid Hive districts in where you had your panic attack. But you have learnt to cope with that.
Real Hayden
Derekles
would actually not like this.
Real David wouldn't as well, to be honest. Derekles, you have experienced life in the Mid Hive before. But the last time you were in the Mid Hive, you were basically carving through heretics and setting them aflame. As a result of this, you're a little distracted as you walk through this hustle and bustle, and you begin to hear around you different preachers of various different splinter cults of the Imperial faith. And you hear snippets of information from each of them. None of them really say anything you disagree with. They all just focus on a different aspect of worship of the God Emperor. You know, some believe that suffering is the way to go. Some believe hard work. Some believe service in the Imperium's armies is the way to go. And they all have their own spin on the Imperial faith. But you know that, none of them are wrong. None of them are particularly 100% right either. But you were focusing on that, and you can't really discern if anyone's watching you or if there's anything unusual going on. But Ishmael, you are cold and clinical, and you're able to shut out all this nonsense. Your subroutines kick in and allow you to cut out a lot of background noise and track many, many people with your visual and audio circuits, and discern from this that no one's watching you, no one's following you. I mean, the odd person's glancing at you. People may be sizing you up as customers for the various stalls, but you don't detect any hostility, any ill intent. You're quite comfortable that you're not being followed during this time. Make a... Make another perception test, Ishmael.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Just a normal one? Or
Yeah, just a normal one.
2 degrees of failure.
Okay, cool. Meanwhile, as this goes on, back in Strophes Manor, As you're finishing your etiquette lessons, there is a knock at the door of the dining room. Julia steps forward, opens the door. Says, lady and gentlemen, I have taken the liberty of inviting Mr. Edgar Trellian, a tailor of great renown in the Hive. And this man enters. He's thin, small, only about 5'5", slicked back black hair and a pencil-thin moustache. And she says, Mr. Trellian will take your measurements and discuss with you your individual requirements for attire to attend the party in. The present fashion in... Sorry. Mr. Trellian steps forward and goes, good day, gentlemen and madam. He doesn't do that. The present fashion in Hive... The present fashion in the upper tiers of Hive Sibelius is referred to as ether weaving. The elite wear fairly gauzy outfits strung through with electroglyphs and other materials to produce various subtle lighting effects. Young and attractive members of the upper classes highlight their bodies to accentuate their silhouettes so that they are clearly visible outside of their clothing. Older and more reserved nobles favor dark clothing with star patterns resembling constellations to better enhance the effect of their chosen attire. Most noble gatherings this season are being held in the dark room, varying from twilight to pitch black. Sibelius nobles revel in decking their entourages out in complementary garb, often in imitation of a specific piece of art or literature. And then I've got the same paragraph written again for no particular reason. So, Julia steps forward and says, most outfits cost in the region of a few thousand thrones, but it's entirely up to you how much you wish to spend. It's not your money after all. You were given some credit chips by Inquisitor Varrock with some quite exorbitant sums on them. She says, as for your entourage, entertainers, lackeys, bodyguards, etc., they are expected to be well dressed, but should not upstage the nobility, of course. A few dozen thrones should suffice for them. Those of a religious nature miss a page while turning through their notes. Those of a religious nature are often granted a pass, of course. No one would raise an eyebrow if a priest were to walk in bedecked in simple robes. But some of the clergy who attend such gatherings are known to get into the spirit of things a little more. So, Vladmir, Mira and Ramsey, I would like you to decide how much you would like to spend on outfits for each person present. Not just the three of you, but also the three that are currently not here.
Yeah.
Can I get the John Wick tactical option?
What's our budget, Mr. Bacon?
You have been given a number of credit chips from the Inquisition with some very, very high numbers attached to them. You are, after all, visiting nobles, and your cover story was that you're a gun collector. As a result of this, you literally have millions of credits at your disposal. However, Julia has just told you that a few dozen should be enough for entourage, a few thousand should be enough for nobles. It's up to you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm of the opinion that we shouldn't go too overboard as to try and outshine, some of the other high-ranking members of nobility. So we want to draw attention to ourselves, but not too much attention.
Yeah.
I want some field breaches.
Yeah, I don't want any to draw any attention really. Just a half well-dressed serf. But if there is a chance for some armor to the clothing, then that would be nice.
Okay, so myself and Mary want to spend a couple of thousand thrones each on our outfits.
Okay.
So make an inquiry to, what's the gentleman's name, the tailor?
Sorry, what were you saying, Leanne?
Oh, I said we do need to fit in, blend in.
Yeah. Mr. Trellian is his name.
Trellian. My good man, Trellian. my valet here, he is concerned that we might not be entirely safe at this gathering. Is it possible to have his clothing armored in such a way that it would not appear suspicious, and not to draw any attention to himself?
Okay. Trellian looks down at Ramsey, almost as if he hadn't really noticed him at this point, and cocks an eyebrow quizzically and goes, well, I'm sure I can do something for the...
For the dwarf?
No, I would never say such things. The gentleman of the shorter stature. Just a moment. And he scans Ramsey for a moment and then looks at his little device and goes, I think I can work something. How about a ballistic weave line?
That sounds most sensible, and we would expect a discount because you will obviously need less material than you would.
I'm just picturing Ramsey dressed like Jimmy Cranky with like a fucking schoolboy hat.
That won't be necessary.
He turns to you, Vlad, and says, my good man, the cost of the outfit is less about the material and more about the skill with which it is put together.
I understand, of course. And then we have 3 more of our entourage who require...
ballistic wave.
I don't know. I heard a voice in my head somewhere, but I don't know. But
cool, the metagaming pigeon.
I don't know, but I definitely heard something. But no, for my man Pincher, I think he wants something slightly fancy, but not too fancy. Maybe spend 50 thrones on his costume. Okay. Something that complements my own.
Yeah, I'm not here, so.
Yeah, you're not here, Pincher, so fuck off out of my mind.
So 50. You want to spend 50 for Pincher?
My man Ishmael, I don't believe he requires anything of any fanciness. I believe he will be happy in his own gear.
Okay.
I don't believe he needs to show off, if I know him well.
Okay. So what?
And what's for Derek? Perhaps Derek would like to join in a little bit, even though he is a cleric.
You were told in your brief that the clerics, some clerics just wear their usual cleric stuff, but some do get into the spirit of things, but they tend to not go over the top.
Sure. Well, he is young. He is young, and perhaps he'd like to join in. So perhaps we spend 30 thrones on young Derek.
Okay. So basically, what the outfits are is they have all these lights in them that take on different shapes and things like that. So
cyberpunk.
Yeah.
I require something reserved, something elegant, but not too showy. You understand?
I understand completely, sir. It is my speciality. So,
can I just ask if do valets have weapons on them, or would the weaponry have to be hidden?
We'll come to that in a bit. Don't worry.
I think it'd be more of a hidden.
Well, like but the gear might have to be. I just need a hidden. What do you call it? Holster for my pistol. Then, yeah.
Do you not have one?
Not hidden.
Okay. So okay. I'll say as much to our tailor, and I'll say I require a hidden holster for my dwarf.
He looks him up and down and says, cocks an eyebrow again and says, but of course, this is a common requirement within the entourage of certain members of people such as yourself. I can manage that absolutely no problem. It may not stand up to the most scrutinous of Auspex scans, but it will be easily hidden from the naked eye, no?
Brilliant.
Good. And a second one for my man Pincher.
Okay, and Julia presents physical scans of the missing 3 people. She's taken their measurements as they entered the house, so you've got that aspect covered.
I'm sure it won't come to violence, though. I'm sure we are safe at this party.
Okay, so we've got, for Ramsey, a simple outfit. What did you want to spend on Ramsey?
Well, how much would it cost for this, I suppose, ballistic weave outfit?
The ballistic weave is quite pricey.
Yeah. So, but basically, we're not wanting to be flashy, but we don't want to skimp on the armor, so to speak.
Yeah. Let me have a look. I
He wants to be like elegant and distinguished, but not showy.
Yep, totally understand.
I don't think any lights for.
Okay.
Yeah. Definitely not. Don't want nobody ghosting my position.
No.
So ballistic weave.
Trainers though, while he's walking about.
Ballistic weave is for a Serco is 275, so it's probably going to be in the region of 300 to 400 for a full suit with ballistic weaving.
Okay.
Delicious.
Okay.
And one more thing, my good tailor. I have a pet that I would like you to incorporate some fancy lighting, perhaps on the wings or on the beak, perhaps.
He looks curiously amused by this for a moment. Says, "A pet? What sort of pet?"
I call him Reginald, and I don't go anywhere without him. He is a crow.
A crow?
Very, very clever young thing.
Harrier you are indeed, sir. I can throw something in for this. For a mere 40 thrones.
Very good.
Okay. So,
he spent more of the Cronus lighting than Derekles' suit.
That's absolutely correct.
So
it just shows you where my priorities are as well.
I think you'll make an excellent noble.
And also, I'd like to tip the tailor 10% of the total bill as well.
Okay, yeah, I'll work that out later on. So Vlad, what are you spending on your own outfit?
2,000, I think, for me and Mira.
2,000 each.
Yes, please.
Okay. Ramsey's is going to be about 400, and he basically describes Ramsey's as being a plain, tasteful suit with a ballistic weave lining. Mira, he has a good idea for a dress, and he looks at Mira's skin tone and begins to describe a brilliant white dress, studded with these lights that will shift and change colours, shifting pattern, which will illuminate the dress as well as her own skin. For Vlad, he recommends a suit, a complementary suit, a mixture of a tasteful black with elements of white into it to match up with Mira's, with a heraldic crest of the Fenxworld nobility of your family line across the chest.
Okay.
Ramsey's done. Ishmael, you said you didn't want anything.
What do you think, Mira? Does that meet your requirements? Are you happy with that?
Sorry, me?
Yes, yeah. Mira.
Yeah, that sounds beautiful.
If there's anything else you want, you can request it.
What did you say the ladies were wearing?
Everyone wears. I mean, ladies obviously wear dresses.
Yeah.
But the current fashion is basically they have these very darkened rooms, and everyone has lights all over them,
right.
Displaying constellations and patterns and symbols and things like that.
Nice. And it's a dress with stars on there.
Yeah, basically stars and lights that shift and take different forms.
That sounds very nice.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds pleasing to me, thank you.
So for Pincher, you went for what exactly?
I think it was 50 thrones, something that's quite showy.
I don't want lights on me.
I know you don't, but
a fancy.
You're not here to interject. So.
A fancy, showy suit for a bodyguard. Leave it with Mr. Trellian. And Derekles, what were you were saying he might want to join in the festivities?
Yes. Yeah. So he wants to join in a little bit, but not like, because he's a cleric, not too much. So I think we're just going to go for 30 thrones. So we're not going to go overboard, but not going to. I think only Ishmael's going to be and Ramsey's going to be left totally out of the light show, I suppose.
Okay, yeah. So he takes the measurements from the Auspex and he measures the three of you that are there again, makes a few notes, and he spends a bit of time gazing at Mira's complexion. Mira is quite an attractive woman, and very tall and muscular for a woman as well. And you see him sort of eyeing up her biceps and going, huh? Mm-hmm. And then
mind your eyes, sir. Mind your eyes.
Oh, this is purely professional, I assure you. And he makes a few little notes and a few little diagrams. You see him scribbling, and he starts to basically draw a picture of Mira's arms, where he's got some spiral lights around her arms that seem to reduce the effect of her bulky biceps, to make her more feminine, basically. With Vlad, he does the opposite. Vladimir, he does the opposite. He designs a suit that accentuates the pectorals and gives the impression of abdominal muscles with the lights that he draws on his diagram. He says, "I will have."
Vlad has actually got a high strength profile, hasn't he?
He's not bad. He's not bad. Yeah, for a psycho.
Member of the group, to be fair.
Yeah.
Well, I think I might have done some skullduggery with these strengths. So
Yeah.
let's have a look. Let's say it was one of my highest stats.
So after about 45 minutes to an hour of this, he basically says, "I will have the outfits delivered in time for the party tomorrow. I bid you adieu and enjoy your evening."
Very good, sir.
Ew.
Okay.
Look forward to your creation.
Meanwhile, back in the Mid Hive. I can't. What have I done? I've stuck a thing where I didn't want a thing.
That's what she said.
Yes, it is. Ishmael, Derekles, and Dick.
Yeah.
You stride through the hustle, this collapsed, once glorious region of the Mid Hive. You imagine it was once perhaps the Upper Hive centuries ago. Lots of statuary on the streets, now crumbled and hollowed out to make homes. And it's now a bit of a shithole. You've seen worse, you've seen better. And as you're walking around the hustle, you begin to realise that the map is a little vague. And it's literally just pointed you to a vague area where there's a lot of walls, a lot of buildings made out of statues, a lot of habitats and businesses. But it doesn't pinpoint an accurate location of the Barking Saint.
What's it called again? Barking Saint.
Yeah.
Is there anybody walking near me?
There's people everywhere. There's shopkeepers. There's sort of a constant sprawling market everywhere you go, as well as the shops and stalls.
The nearest shopkeeper, then.
Okay.
Random
man.
Shopkeeper 1.
Yep.
Hello.
Random
What's
man.
your name, random man?
Oh, he's got a name, and it's a perfectly good name.
You have a name. It's a perfectly good name. Hello, random man.
Hello.
The shopkeep.
My name is Joe.
Right. I'm looking for the Barking Saint. Could you be of help with any directions?
He looks you up and down for a moment and asks you to make a inquiry test at +30.
That's very fair of you.
And he literally hands you some dice.
People?
No, he doesn't.
Inquiry. Oh, I've got inquiry. +30.
Yeah.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good.
Dun dun dun, 100.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. He says,
he lives there.
Barking Saint? Yeah. Yeah. You want to go down the street, take the 4th left, 5th right, 3rd left, turn back round 180 degrees and go the other way. And then you want to head down that road about 1/4 mile. You can't miss it. Big dog.
We do that.
Okay.
Hayden's locked up.
Yep.
Wasn't ready for that forbidden knowledge.
1st left, 4th left, 2nd right.
Okay.
What? Can you tell me that again?
We follow the instructions.
Oh, no. Hello. Hello.
I can hear you, Hayden. Oh?
Oh?
I could.
It's COVID in his camera for a second.
Hello, Hayden.
Hello.
Hi.
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 Okay.
Hi.
So
Hi,
you
Pincher.
follow the instructions. And after about another 20-25 minutes walk, you round a corner in the hustle, and up ahead, through the gloom of the Mid Hive thoroughfares, you spy your destination, the tavern known as the Barking Saint. Its entrance is set within the mouth of a huge canine's head that must have once belonged to an immense statue. The head rests at a crooked angle against the shoulders of the supine form of a larger figure carved with the recognizable symbols of the ecclesiarchy. As you draw near, you see a young boy sitting on a stool before the door, and as you approach, he gives the three of you the once-over, looks you up and down, and you see he's making notes in a battered writing pad, and then he looks you over and says, "Welcome! The Barking Saint observes the rule of first drawn, unworn styles barred. You are so warned." And his voice holds the cadence of a ritual that he has intoned many times as a greeting.
What?
I would like Derekles and Dick to make a common law Imperium test if you have the skill. Derekles, you'll get a +20. Dick, it'll be a straight test. Ishmael, if you would also like to make common law Imperium test if you have the skill, it'd be at -20 for you.
I pass.
This is common law Imperium.
What
I don't think I have it.
test is that, Dave?
Speak language. Common law Imperium.
That fellowship, is it?
It's intelligence, common law.
I've sent you my same to GN when I press it on here. So
yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
I passed.
Did you say a plus anything?
Yours is a straight test. Johnny's is a +20. Ishmael's is a -20.
I passed. 28. Yeah.
Well, you all know what this is. Derekles, you know what this means. You know what the rule of first drawn, unworn styles barred means. Dick, you learnt this knowledge from your time in Gunmetal City with Carlos Midan. It was one of the first things he taught you. Ishmael, you've never encountered it before, but you're quite intelligent, well-read. You understand what this is. What this basically means is if someone starts a fight in a bar, the weapon the person chooses who starts the fight dictates how far the fight is supposed to go. However, unworn styles barred means they can only pick a weapon of a sort that their opponent is clearly packing. For an example, if an aggressor picks a fight with someone and he observes what that person is carrying, say they have a bolt pistol and a combat knife, and he chooses to whip out a knife and attacks the acolyte, you are allowed to produce your own knife or fight back barehanded, but you are not allowed to draw your gun. Okay?
Okay.
And you understand that the consequences for breaking this rule tend to mean it's free for all for everyone. Okay?
So, Kaio Shog has to stay pretty much.
Well, the Kaio Shog would count as a simple melee weapon.
I guess.
You know, and if it was powered or a chain weapon, then it would be different. But it is basically just a standard melee weapon. So if someone came at you with a knife or a sword, that'd be okay. Okay?
Oh, that's great.
Okay. Right. Before we go any further, I'm going to go for a wee.
Doubles up as a ranged weapon as well, doesn't it? So for 3 meters. Let's hope it doesn't come to that, eh? We don't want to be stabbing people up in a bar, do we, Ishmael?
I'm sure there'll be no violence.
I'm sure I'll be fine.
Ishmael's nonplussed.
I don't know why he'd tell you about the fighting rules unless there was a fight brewing, but call me a cynic.
I wonder. I know exactly what you mean.
Call me a cynic.
As long as the Kaio Shog's okay, it's fine by me. And Ishmael's got a big melee axe. If someone draws a knife, they're fucked.
Yeah, fuck with his axe at your peril.
Yeah. Argue with Vladmir there, he'll cleave you right in half. Well,
how many
faces off with pistols?
Goes through man and demon alike.
How many bionic arms do you have now, Ed?
Just the one.
Just the one. so far at the minute.
The other ones in manufacture.
in production.
Okay. Would you like to head inside the Barking Saint? Oh,
Yes.
Derekles has disappeared.
I'm just going to look up while Derekles has disappeared and at the big mouth of the dog and cry a little tear for Canid.
Oh,
Tank fucker.
yeah, tank fucker.
Tank
Oh,
fucker,
poor
that's
tank
hard.
fucker. Okay,
Yeah,
right.
I miss that dog.
He's
Wish I
probably,
could have
he
ridden to
might
town on him.
still be alive. He might still be alive, right?
Well, he was last
Yeah.
seen just outside Seth's fortress.
When it got blown up.
Just before it got
At
nuked.
Ground Zero.
Yeah. So who
Oh,
knows?
poor dog.
Yeah, and Dog was there as well. Dog was the fucking targeting device.
He was.
Yeah, and Ishmael no longer has a canine companion.
Bad day for dogs. We both felt that lost that day, didn't we, Ishmael?
At least Reg made it out there alive.
Yeah,
so.
at least the corrupted Shale Crow made it out. It's fine.
Yeah. Death, bird of death.
Oh, why is...
It does remind me of Iacanthus, though. I like it. I used to. I always find it was a bad omen, though.
Yeah, I
What
say that
Iacanthus do.
that look you gave me in real life when I first befriended Reg, I will treasure until the end of my days. Genuinely.
glorious?
That was a proper in character.
Yeah,
How
it was.
dare you
Yeah,
take
it was.
care
It
of
was.
a
It was.
dog.
It was beautiful. It really was.
Couldn't believe you'd done such a vile act. Heresy.
We haven't actually established where Reg is right now.
I think he's back at the room in a
Reg
minute,
is
but I
getting
will.
dressed up in light.
He's back in my bedroom at the minute, I think. But I will be taking him to the party.
Yeah, cool.
Get his
It'll
life.
be a conversational
I've
point.
seen these little. You could give him some little arms, some little robotic arms. I've seen.
You can do
yeah,
it.
like the
just
gift he
clip around
did.
his neck.
You could do a lot
So
with.
he's holding a
what's-
pint. So he's holding a pint.
Reg's backstory for anyone who recognises the flora of Iacanthus? Or faunas.
Well,
Luckily,
I mean, he's distinctively from Iacanthus, but I don't mind. I'll bring that in if needs be.
Luckily, though, a lot of people don't know where Iacanthus is. Some people in positions of power might have heard of it and know what it's about, but it's a bit of a backwater. Not many people, to be honest, not many people would have heard of any planet other than the planet that they grew up on.
It's like he's got his treasured crow and his manservant from Iacanthus.
Yeah.
From his trip there. I picked up these two. This crow and a pet and a manservant. 2 pets.
And I value the crow more.
That's right. I
Okay,
get kicked far more.
right.
Yes, my son.
Ishmael, Derekles, and Dick.
I remember that next time I'm making breakfast for you, Billy.
The interior of the Barking Saint is formed much the same as its exterior, fallen masonry. Darkened alcoves of various shapes have been crudely hacked out of the stone or formed from mismatched pieces of marble and other types of rock. There are no tables, really, just large chunks of various types of stone that serve in their place. The central bar is a long piece of granite supported by the chopped off ends of 2 fluted columns. The bar is currently packed with a motley assortment of hivers and a noisy thrum of conversation. Behind the bar, a large sweaty man wipes the inside of a glass, spits in it, and sets it down. It's a done thing. It has to happen in every single thing. The Barking Saint is clearly a cosmopolitan and busy establishment, and you feel your entrance is barely noticed amidst the bustle of the bar. All 3 of you make a awareness test at +20, please.
Yeah.
How do I change it so it's not just like to GM?
I don't even know why you are doing that.
Either.
To be honest, I have no idea why that's happening. But we've got 2 passes. Mr. Pincher, All three of you, in fact, notice a strange smell, a strange sickly sweet smell. But Ishmael, you've no idea what it is.
Yeah.
Derekles, you recognise it from your previous time living amongst the sinners of the Hive. And Dick, you recognise it from your time with Midan lurking around Gunmetal City. It is the smell of Obscura. There's clearly one or two Obscura addicts in this bar. And if you'd like to have a look at Roll20 right now, here is the map of the Barking Saint.
Oh yeah, shit's going down. You know it.
That's almost the same bartender I've got in my
Fucking junkies everywhere.
Can I quickly vox Vlad?
You've got a long-range Vox, yeah?
I just want to tell Vlad that I've arrived at the bar.
Have you got?
And ask him if he wants. Sorry.
Have you got a long-range Vox, Ed?
I have a box. Let me have a look. So I bought another one, didn't I?
Yeah. I can't remember. I know there was a long-range Vox somewhere in the group.
I'll have a look.
What a wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Always.
I've got an emergency
Thanks,
box.
Dave.
I bought a box.
You've got a hand
Dave.
Vox.
I've got a hand Vox and an emergency Vox. So.
Is it not long enough range then?
Okay, so you've got a hand Vox. It might work. The problem with Voxes is they're quite short-ranged and their range is reduced by things like lots of steel and stone. So I want you to make a tech use test with it'll be a +10 because you're not that far away.
Okay. Tech use. What, +10 to my normal?
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, just +10 to whatever your tech use is, which I think is above standard anyway, isn't it?
Because I'm +20 at the minute, my tech use.
So +30 altogether then.
So I'll put another +10 on that one.
Yeah, so you easily patch through to Vladmir at the exact moment that the tailor is awkwardly measuring his inner leg.
Oh my! Careful as you go there.
Which side do you dress to, sir? Sorry.
Yeah, so Vlad, we've arrived in the bar. Would you like me to keep the Vox open so you can hear what's going on?
That would be splendid, Ishmael. It's a great idea.
Okay.
And tell Pincher to stay out of trouble. Over.
Okay. Pincher. Stay out of trouble.
What is it? You're so funny, Ishmael. I'm glad I'm not 2 meters nearer. Right. Shall we go find our man?
What's the best course of action? Go and do we know what it looks like? We don't.
You don't know. The bar room.
What's it called? Valor.
Volin all day.
Valor a day.
Okay.
Volin all day.
So the bar appears to be, although it's quite early, it's maybe it's about midday, 1 o'clock, something like that. And the bar appears to be full of serious early afternoon drinkers, mainly guilders, off shift, Factoria workers, things like that. One corner in the northeast, where there's 3 patrons sat together, you see these rough-looking gentlemen playing some sort of card game. And as you enter, the barmaid steps over towards you. I'm just going to move you there because you stood in a wall at the minute, Ishmael. And she walks towards you. You notice throughout the bar there's 2 or 3 other young women, attractive women, scantily clad. And this one steps over to you, carrying a tray of glasses, and looks you up and down. And she smiles and says, "Are you boys looking for someone then?"
Pincher, do you want to try and
someone's a
charm
bartender
and want to try and charm and find our guy?
Put your moves on her, Pincher.
Okay.
Rub your thigh up against her.
Well, hello, you fine lady. I didn't know I was looking for someone until I found you.
Ooh.
Can I charm her now?
Yeah,
Is
give
that
me a
all
charm
right?
test.
Okay, well, let me charm her first. Let role play it out.
You just
Listen,
you just
hello,
asked if you could.
fine lady. Okay, yeah. All right, I'll charm her. Wait a second, I'm just trying to... Hello, my fine lady. You say I'm looking for someone. I think I found someone very beautiful in front of me. Would you be of help to our... Have I used my proper name? Would you be of help to our George here?
George Pincher.
Give me a
So-
charm test.
I hope that's the right one. I don't know what I've rolled. What was that? Fellowship.
Ooh.
Pretty bad.
That's a big fail.
I'm going to re-roll that.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's give us a fate point.
I've got 3.
Yeah.
Wop, 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 wop.
Ooh.
My delivery was pretty poor.
It's not a terrible fail.
It's not a fail, really. It's not a full degree.
She looks you up and down for a moment and gives you a soft smile and says, "You've found someone you could never possibly handle, my dear."
You would know. You would know what I could handle.
I
tell you. Anyway, I would like to ask you if you have met a man named Valade. Valade.
Volinorde.
Villade. Volinorde.
What's it called?
That man.
Volinorde.
Volinorde.
Her smile
Volinorde
softens ever so slightly and she says, "Huh? So it's not companionship you're after all then, huh? The old wolf's in the back."
Wait, what you want?
The old wolf's in the back.
One second,
Third curtain that way.
Doesn't matter. Let's back. Well, thank you very much for that. But let's go back to what you just said. Are you offering companionship?
Make another
Who
charm
cares about
test.
the wolf behind the curtain? I will show you one behind mine.
Make another charm test.
Okay. Oh, a minute. Get off that charm. Do it, Dick.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
She giggles slightly and says, "I'm not that sort of girl, my dear, but if you would like some companionship," and she gestures, there's 2 or 3 other girls, very scantily clad, that are just loitering around, leaning against walls, and they're looking straight over at the 3 of you. And she says, "I just serve the drinks. You want anything else?" And she points at the girls.
I'm looking for a real woman, and you look like a real woman to me, not them.
Make another charm test.
We're here for business, Dick.
So it's
I'm down to business. Yeah. Dick's on it now.
She
He's
looks
got sniff.
She looks you up and down once more, and then says, "I'll get off shift around 5. If you're still here then, perhaps you can buy me a drink."
All right. Okay. I'll tip her now.
Okay, what would you like to tip her?
I'd like to tip a 3 throne.
Okay, knock the 3 thrones
Hey,
off.
big spender.
3 thrones is a fucking lot in the Mid Hive, man. Knock 3 thrones off your character sheet for me,
I know.
please, Hayden. And she takes it.
Well, like I've got where I wanted before I tip. She knows what sort of man she's dealing with now. I'm a good tipper and a good customer. I'm a breadwinner.
She takes the coins and puts them down the front of her bodice and says, "Well, thank you. Would you like some drinks brought to your booth?"
Yes, please. We'll be sat. What do you say, man? Shall we go see the wolf first, or shall we go sit and have a drink?
Let's go see the wolf and she can bring the drinks over.
Ooh, deja vu.
Okay, we'll go and see the wolf.
Okay, I'll bring the drinks right over. You head over.
Miss Barmaid, before you go, what is your name?
She has a
I
name,
have many names.
and it's a perfectly good name. She says, "My name's Novia."
Oh, Novia. I will remember that, and I might see you around 5.
Righto. See you then. I didn't catch your name. Oh, no, I did. It's George.
George.
George. Big George.
George Pincher.
George
Okay.
Pincher.
She sachets off towards the bar, depositing the glasses. A little bit of a spring in her step. As you head over to the curtain she indicated. Right at the top of the screen here. Meanwhile, back at the manor,
Not paying for no lucky.
Vladmir,
And when you got charm.
Mira, and Ramsey.
Yeah.
Noise.
My family in the background, maybe.
They're
They're doing a
raucous, are they?
yeah, a bit of a pub quiz, like online pub quiz.
Sounds fun.
Right, says Julia, as she seats you in one of the many studies of Strophes Manor. Time for a lesson in customs in the Upper Hive. Noble men and women rarely, if ever, go into the Mid Hive. That is what having servants and lackeys is for. Those of you posing as nobles, and she indicates Mira and Vladmir, may raise unwanted attention by travelling down Hive, but on the flip side, those same people will do far better interacting with their fellow nobles when the time comes. Every single action and appearance will be carefully scrutinized during your time here. The Spire nobles are a nosy, judgmental lot. If you are seen coming and going in the Mid Hive, that may raise suspicions, or at least unwanted attention. Those of your group posing as retinue members will have a much easier time moving between the hive levels, but understand you will potentially get in far more trouble if you screw up or insult the wrong person down there than you would up here. Bodyguards, however, while not expected to take part in conversation and socializing, are rather well regarded in Hive Sibyllus, as, in addition to their obvious normal duties, Scintilla's practice of trial by combat leads many skilled bodyguards to be asked to stand in for their noble patrons. Either way, it generally isn't considered wise to insult the man or woman who may be called upon to save your life. Bodyguards never speak unless first spoken to, or a security matter arises, and they are never to offer an opinion on anything unless they've specifically been asked to do so first. Bodyguards are allowed to carry heavier weaponry in public than most citizens. Father has the right connections to be able to get any of you that require it a bodyguard license within a day or so, plenty of time before the party. But do note that any of those licensed are required to register their weapons and give a tissue sample. Now, there is a small matter I feel I should brief you on. As I mentioned, it's quite common for nobles of Sibyllus to deck their entourage out in garb complementary to their own. However, this season's latest rage has taken that a step further. A practice common amongst the younger scions of noble houses is to take a mid-hiver candidate and offer him or her a place in their revels. The nobles then spend the evening enacting a famous play with the unsuspecting hiver called upon to act the lead role. The hiver, of course, being of low culture, has no idea what part he is playing, let alone what he is supposed to be playing a part at all. The laughter and cutting wit of the nobles surrounding him will make no sense to him. Never mind that he will also have been injected with a drug known as spur to enhance his performance. If the hiver manages to entertain, he's given a goodly sum of thrones and sent along on his way. A bewildering evening, a strange memory for years to come, I'm sure. Boring his patrons generally leads to an overdose, as they inject more and more spur into him in the hope that he may finally provide some amusement. This practice is known as spurring for obvious reasons. And Lord Strophes interjects at this point and says, "This cruel practice is ignored by the magistratum, as it's deemed all in good fun. No one is supposed to be hurt by it, but I have heard rumours of 1 or 2 deaths as a result. It's a disgusting custom." And Julia says, "While I entirely agree with my father at the distastefulness of spurring, that does not change the reality in which this practice takes place. I tell you this, so if you happen to encounter such a practice, you do not overreact." Okay, so the lesson you undergo here is to do with various customs that will take place at the party, and depending on how well you do in this particular lesson will affect how you react if any of these things take place in the party. So
I say we spur Pincher. Who's for it?
No.
I agree over Vox.
So
what do you agree to? What do you agree to? Seamus.
He will be masturbating.
So what I would like for Ramsey, Vlad, and Mira to do is give me a willpower test at +10.
I'm gonna use a fate point of mine.
Yep, sure. That's better.
Much better.
Ooh, big fail.
Ooh.
Ooh. 5.8 degrees of failure.
That's a pass.
Let's use a fate point.
Yeah, use fate point if you would like.
99.
Yeah. 98. Yeah, I'll fate point.
Okay, gives another roll then.
99 this time.
Probably.
That's better.
Nice. Very
Much
good.
better.
I tried to will a 99, so it just shows I'm not a witch.
Okay, so one of the other things you learn during these sessions is weaponry. Generally speaking, most nobles do openly carry a weapon, but it's usually a pistol. Obviously, some weapons will draw more attention than others. High-tech weaponry will draw attention from people intrigued by such things. Low-tech weaponry, primitive weaponry, or poor quality weaponry may draw attention for the wrong reasons. Nobles are expected to carry a sidearm, a pistol, basically, and nothing more. Entourage members generally don't carry weapons. Bodyguards, however, can get away with a lot more weaponry. They can carry pretty much anything, pistol, melee weapon, and regardless of the quality, get away with it as long as it looks like it's not an absolute piece of shit. She's also informed you that her father, Laurent, can get a bodyguard license for anyone that wants one, which would allow you to carry bigger caliber weapons, but not, heavy weapons, but you might be able to get away with rifles, shotguns, things like that.
Yeah. Will I need one to carry a pistol?
Generally,
I thought you were hiding your pistol.
Yeah, as a valet, you wouldn't be expected to be carrying at all, but you will be having a concealed holster.
Cool.
So if you want to apply for any licenses,
I would like to request for Pincher a bodyguard license.
Okay, bodyguard license for Pincher. Laurent says absolutely no problem. Only problem is I will require a DNA sample from the man to register it, obviously.
Yes, I have no problem with you harvesting Pincher's DNA.
Okay. We will do that when he returns.
It's everywhere. What are you on about?
It's just on the fucking. Just go scrape his bed sheets.
I can deposit a one. She can have a DNA sample for me. It's fine.
Unfortunately, Dick, it's her father that wants one.
It doesn't matter today.
By the way, actually, while we're on
I'm sure
this,
we'll be able to spurt up a sample in no time at all.
while we're on this subject, I'm going to bring you up a picture of Julia. There you go. There's Julia Strophes.
Seen Julia before, I think.
Yeah, you have the
But
first
I
time.
don't mind seeing Julia again.
So the rest of you, Lauren also makes an offer. He says, "I do know a man who can acquire firearms, sidearms. If there's anything in particular you'd like, something a little more upmarket or such like than what you're currently
we
carrying."
do have this. It's surely a best quality fate bringer.
Yes, that's what we need, and we need it right now. Damn it!
Okay.
Can I hear this over the Vox?
Not if they're not broadcasting. So, is there any particular weapons you'd like to acquire or anything? You do have very deep pockets right now, remember?
So what are you asking for, Brownie?
The current sidearm that I have, the fate bringer. If you can get me one of the finest quality known to man, would be delightful.
I'll vox into the other group.
Give me a tech use. Give me a tech use test at +10, please, Vlad.
I've got a Vox communication open with Vlad already.
Oh, you have? Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're already open channel. So yeah,
We do
carry
have
on.
an open channel.
Will,
Ishmael, my good man, are you there? Come in, over. Oh, come in. Are you there?
I'm here.
Hello, Ishmael.
Hello.
Are you well? Are you well? I am
Fine,
well.
thank you.
Very good. We have the opportunity to perhaps acquire some more weaponry and firearms. Is that of interest to any of the members of your party?
I'll just ask. So I'm going to ask Dick and Derekles what I'll tell what Vlad has just said. So they were aware.
Well, you know what I've always wanted? I've wanted a gold-plated eviscerator. That would be lovely.
A gold-plated eviscerator is heresy. The sin of greed.
So the light
I would
of the
like
shine upon all those who need to see it.
What's this good brownie's gone
The
for?
last
The good? Are they as good as a hand cannon?
Yeah, basically, it's an accurate. It's a bit like the Carnodon.
Yeah.
But slightly, lighter. 5 round though, so it's not perfect. But,
it's not better or worse than a Carnodon. It's kind of a side grade to it.
Yeah, I think I went for it because it's a bit longer range.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I get any guns better than Carnodon's what I've got? Because they're pretty good.
You could potentially get a better quality Carnodon.
Can I have a top quality Carnodon with a recoil fit and a red dot sight to it, please?
Okay.
Gold plated. 2.
Gold plated. Everyone's going for the bling. Okay. Okay. There's no guarantee that you'll get these weapons. There's a chance you'll get them. So Ramsey's going for a best quality fate bringer. Derekles is going for a gold plated eviscerator. Okay. Dick is going for a gold plated good quality. Best quality Carnodon with a red dot.
I'll pass on the shopping request.
And a recoil. And a recoil. Oh, I've got recoil guns.
Yeah. Anyone else?
I need all these weapons.
I was going to say, actually, because you're into the guns, aren't you? So you should maybe.
Yeah.
It's part of your story. Yeah.
So basically, Leanne, you've been told you can have access to. It's expected for you to carry weapons. Most nobles carry a sidearm, a pistol. So you've basically been asked, is there any weapons you would like? Because you've got very deep pockets at the minute, financially speaking.
We all together?
Is it just
no, you're still with the other two.
Ask for anything.
And can I just ask one more thing over the Vox?
Just one more.
Oh.
Yes.
Just
I would like an ostentatious shoulder armor. Ostentatious has to be out there.
I think we've lost Dave.
Merely a suit
Yep,
of
no, I'm
custom
listening. I thought he was
designed,
talking to you,
power
Vlad.
armor would do
I don't know. I think he's directing his shopping quest directly at you, Dave. I believe.
Well, no, he's talking to you.
No, well,
I'll
yeah,
talk to you.
everything I pass on, I'll pass on to this guy.
Okay.
I'd also. So you're after a ostentatious piece of shoulder armor.
piece.
Shoulder.
Yeah, I'd also
Get him the full Mandalorian suit out.
Yeah.
Lawrence says,
I want to look like a Mandalorian.
a shoulder guard. I'll see what I can do. No promises on any of these, but I will certainly try my best.
Very good. I'd like to draw my bolt pistol and show it to him. Can you improve upon this beauty?
He says, well, let's have a look now. And he takes it and he pops the clip out, slides the slide back very, very smoothly, very experienced with guns, clearly, and begins checking over it and says, well, this is a fine weapon, Vladimir. Where on earth did you get this? This bears the crest of a member of royalty of Seferis Secundus.
Well, I can't give away all my secrets, can I?
Well, of course not. I understand protocol probably more than you do. If you would like me to try and find you an improved variant of this, I can certainly try, but it will be difficult.
Yes, well, you know, I can. It's always worth a punt, isn't it?
Very well, very well. Mira, any requests?
Party.
Yeah. You've basically been told it's common practice for nobles to carry firearms.
Right.
And they're basically saying, you know, something really, really fancy will draw attention. Something really, really shit will draw even worse attention. You've got a number of guns. What would you like? Bearing in mind your bolt pistol is a Sister of Battle bolt pistol, and it has the markings of a Sister of Battle bolt pistol on it.
Right. I'd best get something else then.
Okay.
Another bolt pistol.
Another bolt pistol for Mira.
Hang on, what? I've got that thing, didn't I?
That thing? You can use other pistols as well. I think you're capable of using las pistols and solid shot pistols.
I think my bolt's the best one.
It is definitely, yeah. But you can get a variety of different stuff. Maybe. It's not guaranteed, but I think if you look at your weapon talents...
I know, I've got this chain cutting now.
That's on your gauntlet.
No, I'll just get another bolt pistol, but without the markings, obviously.
Just turn your page a sec. And again. Have you got pistol training las? No, you haven't, have you? Okay. Yeah, you've got solid. Okay, so he'll try and get you a bolt pistol without the obvious marks of the Sister of Battle on it. Ishmael, was there anything for Ishmael?
Power axe.
Go play axe.
As Vlad relays the request for a power axe.
A large double-handed power axe. Gold-plated.
Gold-plated.
Gold-plated. As you relay this request for a large two-handed power axe, gold-plated.
Gold-plated.
Lord Strophes grins very slowly and says, well, I wonder whose request that was. Leave it with me. I may know a gentleman. Okay, so that's your weapons and customs covered, I think. It's all gone quiet. Is everyone still there? Disconnect and reconnect, Leanne. Anything you can imagine, basically. Purple, yeah. 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 You can have any colour. It's all customisable, that sort of shit. It's any aesthetic, so.
I have a gold-plated Aquila on a chain. Probably.
Okay, I'm having a bit of a network connection
That's
problem
fine,
right now.
Yeah.
I think it's my wireless. So
You've
you
frozen
can,
my screen. It's still
yeah,
here.
my audio comes through wired, but my video comes through wireless. I'm just going to go for a piss. It might sort itself out. If there's any other weapons or equipment you want, now's the time to request it. Have a think while I just go for a wee.
Can it have silver gilding on it? Good.
I want a full suit of armor.
Alright. Okay.
Yeah. No, something light. Something light. I'm not a heavy fighter. I need to dodge, duck, dive, and weave.
The bullet magnet, I'll just run at them with my eviscerator and power armor and get shot a lot. Bounce off.
I'm dodging on a 63 at the moment, which is pretty cool.
Oh my god.
Yes, but do you have a pet crow?
I used to have a pet dog.
Dead dog.
Oh, dog.
like Ishmael. Yeah. that dog was amazing. I remember when I first started playing. It was the only thing what could pass at any test was the dog.
Yeah. Use the dog's perception. Because we fucking
Yeah.
suck ass.
Yeah, it's sad to know. Well, at least it was an awesome locator beacon, eh?
Mm-hmm. The Flight of the Intruder, where it's like rain fire down on me, Sandy. Oh,
You can you can always build a new dog.
That's the one.
Building. Better and stronger.
Exactly, you can improve upon it, surely.
more
Can I
legs,
ask for one now?
more legs and heads.
Can I have
Cerberus.
a robot dog, which is gold plated?
Cyber Cerberus.
What's got into everyone? When did everyone get so gangster?
Yeah.
Since we
Come on,
couldn't
with all bling.
have a massive budget for anything. What do you want? I need
Like some
gold-plated
fucking
companies.
Saudi entourage.
A rhino would be good, do you reckon?
Yeah, rhino.
Okay,
Land Raider.
I seem to be back. Yeah, I don't think you're going to request a Land Raider very easily.
No, just a gold-plated, actual, real rhino ride.
Not just yet. I mean, when you get to Ascension and you become agents, you could maybe get a Land Raider, but not right now.
No. Just a little rhino, like
Ace
four
Ventura.
legs. Yeah.
Obviously, dollar signs are in everyone's eyes at the moment. You've said what? Unlimited money? Cha-ching, cha-ching.
Okay, so is there anything else anyone else would like to request from Lord Strophes? He's ex-military, so you know he's got connections.
I want the some light enforcer armor.
Maybe it's just all irrelevant because we're going to be in a cell by the end of the fucking.
Light enforcer armor.
Light enforcer armor. Okay.
Yes.
Can I have some?
I can't hit the heavy
You're gonna struggle to get into a party wearing light enforcer armor.
We'll just put it on the list.
Okay.
It's going to be gold plated, Dave. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, gold plated.
If you don't ask, you don't get.
Yeah. This is what's this for? I just say, well,
in gold.
A
fuzzy
dress
fun
code,
times.
code though, you know.
Okay. So yeah, there's a dress code.
Kinetic dog.
There's a dress code. You're not expected to be in there in full plate armor. Derekles, what were you asking for?
I was asking for a full suit of well-fitting carapace armor.
You've already got a suit of carapace armor that Ishmael's
Doesn't fit very well.
not yet, but Ishmael's been working on it. Some of it does. Some of it fits.
A fancy mesh coat. A fancy mesh coat, like a cowboy coat of fancy proportions. To get myself. I'm still wearing my duster for my account for Sata. So.
Again, Derekles, you can ask him to try and get your carapace armor, but do you think you're going to get into a noble party wearing carapace armor?
No, I think he just wants it, Dave. I don't think it matters whether he gets into the party.
Okay.
That's the same with light enforcer armor.
Okay. Right,
Exactly.
Eddie,
You don't ask, you don't get. So it's worth a punt, eh?
that's very true. I'm sure Inquisitor Varrock will be chuffed to spend all this money.
Fleece him for more. I want.
Can I get a cake?
I want jump boots. Jump boots. Cake. Yeah. Lifetime supply of beef jerky.
Bearing in mind that the question,
I want some beef jerky.
the question was, can I get you any better quality sidearms to make you blend in amongst nobility a bit more? You're putting in some strange requests right now. But okay.
No, but seriously, can you get me some beef jerky?
There's plenty of food in the mansion. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Good
Can I
quality.
go off and try and make some beef jerky?
Clota
I
jerky.
don't trust you anymore, Ramsey. You said you'd stitch me up with the next
Say
stuff you did for me. So
Yeah, at breakfast.
Okay, so that is
second breakfast. Or...
that's customs and weapons dealt with. Yeah.
That's dealt with.
Okay. Let me just find back where I was.
Tip.
Where were we? Here we were. Back in the Barking Saint. Back in the Barking Saint. Right. Just wait for Leanne to come back. Okay.
Fucking ridiculous.
What are you working on, Brownie?
Why would you do that? Why would you put her up here?
What's that look like, Al?
Come on.
Looks
Come
like a
show your
mouse or a
face.
Rex.
That's
Come-
right, mate.
Come say hello to everyone.
Look
There
at
we
this.
go.
I've got some Rex envy at the minute.
Yeah.
Yes, Chewie.
Cannot wait. He had a really good game against Marcus. He went on a proper rampage. I think he killed 4 things.
Is that kicking mark?
Yeah.
That was wizard.
There you go. Sit on that. Right. So back in the Barking Saint. You head towards the curtain. Ishmael, Derekles, and Dick, indicated by the girl whose name is completely inconsequential. The curtain she points to is at the rear of the Barking Saint, away from the lights of the central tap room. You head over and push back the curtain to reveal a grizzled-looking but fit-looking man with greying hair in his late 50s, leaning back from a stone table formed from a horizontally cut pillar. One hand holds a mug of ale. The second hand holds a bolt pistol pointed at Ishmael's head. He grins without humour, and his teeth are like a lightning flash in the darkness of the alcove. And he says, "You looking for someone?"
Yes. You.
Who sent
We
you?
have who was it? Varrock?
No.
Violin, I think.
No, this is Volin. It was
Volin.
Lord Strophes who sent you.
Lord Strophes has sent us.
He lowers the
He has,
bolt
sent
pistol.
us to meet with you.
He lowers the pistol and gestures at the empty seats, waving the gun around. He says,
Sit down.
"Have a
Sit
seat."
down.
As long as you don't shoot the seat first.
He says, "Have a seat. Novia's good at sizing people up, but pays to be cautious all the same. I'm all day. I'm the man you're here for."
I'm the fucking gaffer.
So do you enter and have a seat?
Yes, I'll sit
We
down.
do.
Okay, so you sit down in the booth besides Olin Vorday. After a few moments, Novia reappears. 3 mugs of ale for you guys and a 4th one that she places in front of Orday. And she turns to Pincher and says, 8 thrones.
Pay the lady.
Knock 8 thrones off your character sheet. And as soon as she leaves and draws the curtain behind her, Orday leans forward over the table and says, "I'll tell you now, as professional courtesy, whatever job Strophes has offered you, you shouldn't take it."
Why is that, my friend? Why is that?
Let's just say there are interested parties who are now on the lookout for me, and I don't think they plan on asking polite questions. I'm leaving Hive Sibyllus, and I suggest you do the same.
Okay. Thank you for the warning. But for what Strove sent us for, you know anything about it?
He says, yeah, I'll tell you the same as I told old Laurent. He asked me to do some sniffing around about his niece, and I tracked her down. Seems she'd been hanging around with a joyous choir. I found a few auspexes, strange things, shit inside them I'd never recognised before. He says, and then he looks around at all three of you and says, just don't go saying I didn't sound no warning klaxon later, yeah? But Strophes is always paid on time, which is an unusual trait in nobles. But vindictiveness is not as rare. A couple of the high and haughty have found out some of my acquisitions, something about my acquisitions. Found out I found their little toys and some data they'd rather I not have. Seems the joyous choir has some well-placed allies in the magistratum. But that's not the real problem, though. Have you heard of Tharkosia?
Name has popped up now and again.
No, it hasn't. Make a
I'm lying to him.
Make an intelligence test first. Dick, I want you to make it at -10. I want Derekles to make it at +10. And Ishmael, I want you to make it at +20.
Okay.
A man can tell a fib if he wants.
Yeah, he can, but I need these rolls first.
Yeah,
so Dick, you don't know anything about it. Ishmael does.
6.5 degrees.
Yeah.
Fire.
Okay, so Derekles does not. So Dick, you've said that you have heard of it. And he says, yeah, fucking nasty stuff, yeah. Word on the street is that the Arbites are getting interested. Potent as fuck and very addictive. I found out that Strove's niece was hooked on it, though I don't think he knew. I suspect a lot of the choir members are addicted, and I think the Joy Boys are distributing it. It's expensive, real expensive, way beyond the means of most down here. But who does the Joyous Choir usually cater to, eh? Those down here, or those in the spire? And Ishmael, I would like you to quickly look at Facebook Messenger for me, please. It'll just take me a minute to type something up. Let's just move that shit out of the way.
Pardon me.
We could maybe do with Mira making us some counter toxins in case we get spurred or drugged.
Yeah. Vlad can hear what's going on because we've got a box open.
Shit, hang on. Phenomenon. That'll do. There you go, Ed. That's what you know.
Secrets.
I'm allowed to tell them what Is that?
You can do whatever you want with that information.
Is it worth doing it later?
Entirely up to you.
Yeah, it's not that important at the minute. I'll do it after we stop talking to him.
Okay. And he continues and says, I think Lord Strophes' niece overdosed on this Farcosia. Either died in one of the churches or a workshop of theirs or some such, and the choir got rid of the body, covered it up to prevent a scandal. For the Arbites to be involved in this Farcosia, well, that's something, innit? They don't normally concern themselves with the trivialities of chemeds. I managed to acquire a data slate. I took it from the same guy I got the harmony meter from. Didn't realise what it had at the time. It's heavily encrypted, and I don't have the skills to get into it, but I did get a brief glimpse before the files locked themselves, and I can tell you, it's a list of names, and I recognise one or two. Members of the Magistratum. I reckon they're on the payroll of the Joyous Choir.
Well, thank you very much. Do you have this
Would you be able to
on a date slate?
give us these names?
Press him for the names.
He says,
Would you be able to give us these names?
he says,
Or the data slate.
I don't have it on me. You think I'm stupid? You want it?
Well, would you? Yes,
Yes,
of course.
1,500 thrones, and the slate's yours. Forgive me if that seems a little steep, but it's clearly valuable data, and I need to pay for my passage off-world. I think they're looking for me. Found a few undesirables snooping around my place.
I'm sure the Lord will kindly adhere to pay that. So where can we get this information? And he'll probably pay you straight away.
Tell you what, I'll be in touch. I'll arrange a time and place for the exchange with Lord Strophes. I can trust him, but I don't know fuck all about you.
Well, that's fair enough. As long as we get the information and through him or through you, that is good enough for me.
Sounds like a plan, Stan.
He says, right, okay. I'll let the Lord know. And he drains his mug, holstered his pistol, and pushes his way out of the booth. And then he stops at the curtain and turns back and says, I hope you boys are very good at whatever it is you do, because I've got a bad feeling about these Joyous Choir boys. And he just shakes his head and then leaves.
You know, there's no joy in their choir.
He stops and looks back at you and goes, yeah. I'll contact Lord Strophes with the time and place for the exchange. And then he's gone.
Thank you. Right.
Meanwhile, back in Strophes Manor, Vladmir, Mira and Ramsey. Julia leads you through the back of the manor to a large, cavernous space at the rear of the mansion, the ballroom. To one side, a raised area sits, where obviously normally a band would provide music in more formal times, but it stands empty for now. She crosses the tiled floor to a small table, upon which is placed a strange contraption and a box beside it holding metallic cylinders. Vlad, Mira, Ramsey, any of you with tech use, make a +20 roll. I don't think you have. It's not really what you're for. But I think Vlad maybe does.
Is that back in the
Ooh. Vlad, you have no idea what this bizarre contraption is. But Ramsey does. Ramsey has seen such a device. It's an archaic device. Outdated, outmoded, but the young and the cool know what these things are, and they're making a bit of a resurgence in popular culture. Although you last saw one back aboard the Space Hulk where you grew up. Very old-fashioned device for playing music known as a Vox phonograph. And a stack of recording cylinders. Julia steps towards it and retrieves one of the cylinders and says, I'm afraid Father's collection is somewhat out of date. However, it should suffice for today's lesson. She places the device, the cylinder that she selects upon the device and says, "There are a number of dances that are fashionable at present. I shall teach you what I can of each. Of most interest is the Sanguini, a rather long, boring and slow-paced affair, but the reason I believe you might be interested in such a thing is that it is common practice to swap partners multiple times during the dance, a prime excuse to engage in a little small talk with various parties." And the music begins to play. Julia begins to demonstrate the dance to you, taking you one by one and showing you the moves of both partners over the next couple of hours. So what I need from you good people... Where's my fucking pencil gone? There it is. Starting with you, Vladimir. I need you to make an agility test at +10.
Can I stack some psychics up here to try and improve my chances?
Sure, why not? What could possibly go wrong?
Possibly go wrong.
I'd like to.
Tucked in the wall.
Apart
Tried
from
to
the demon.
dance.
I like to cast the spell with no name.
Yeah.
And also the
What's its name, Al?
I wouldn't like to say. And also knack, which both pass.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Is the spell called Lucky?
Shh! Hayden, shut up! Jesus! What are you trying to do? Kill everybody? Suddenly, a greater demon of Zinch appears in the ballroom. No. So,
I'm glad he's not with us. That's all I like to say.
yeah. So, give me an
I'm glad
agility.
he's somewhere else.
Give me an agility roll, please, Vladimir, with a +10 for Julia's tuition.
Okay, so I'm going to add +10 as well for knack.
Mm-hmm.
It's looking good.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh.
Gratuitous use of psychic powers to learn to dance.
I would also like an intelligence test at +10 from you, Al. This is to represent... The first one was to represent how good you are. The second one is to represent how much you retain knowledge of the dance.
Can I, again, stack up some psychics?
You can, yeah.
Okay. A spell that should not be named. And a knack. Both pass.
Okay.
Okay, intelligence, you say?
Yeah, with a +10.
So a +20 then. Looking good.
Yeah, that's good. So just 2 passes, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
Mira.
In both cases.
Mira, I would like you to do the same. You're learning to dance with Julia. She dances around with you. She takes both partners' roles because there isn't a male and a female role to this dance. You know, people interchange all the time, and it's basically a slow waltz where people chat. So I want you to make an agility test at +10 for Julia's tuition.
What's that?
That's a fail.
I'll roll.
You're going to fate point it.
I'm going to have to dance, aren't I?
Well, it's not mandatory.
I don't think you're going to get to that tonight, to be honest.
No, then.
I'll dance with you, my lord. Yeah.
Well, I'll be...
Use your fate point, Mira.
Use your fate point. That's what they're for.
That's what they're for. Learning to dance.
Right.
Either that or, you know, protecting the group from demons. Whichever you think is more important.
Dancing, obviously.
Okay, so that's 1 degree of passage. And I also need you to make an intelligence test at +10 for retaining knowledge of the dance.
God's sake.
Which should be pretty good for you because you've got high intelligence.
I am the lord of the dance city.
And I'll see you all in the Empyrean Sea. As the demons come and take your blood and bones and skulls. Yeah, fucking hell. Check that shit out.
Long, like bull.
After Mira finishes her lessons, there's a very awkward 45 minutes or so where Julia tries to instruct Ramsey in dancing. And obviously, he's a good 2.5 foot shorter than her. and it's a little weird to watch. And Julia's not exactly disgusted by Ramsey. She's just very confused by his presence. She's never encountered an abhuman before. Never mind one clearly so well skilled and actually able to speak common.
Spinning around like a top.
Yeah, she's just. At one point, Ramsey rushes across the ballroom and Julia holds him aloft one-handed.
I'd like to applaud, please.
Roll for applause.
Have you got some frilly breeches to wear?
Oh, there's going to be some very
like
frilly
Tudor
shit.
times. It look really funny.
Vladimir applauds in such a way that you feel like the God Emperor is applauding himself. And Ramsey, I would like you to make an agility test at +10. The most agile one of the group fucks up the dancing.
Fate point.
Fate point.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little clumsy. Probably due to the fact that there's a big height difference between the two partners. But yeah, you really struggle.
Yeah, that's better.
But eventually, you start to get the hang of it. Also, give me an intelligence test at +10 for your ability to retain information about the dance.
Right, one sec.
Honey, what's the agility?
Behind there, something.
45.
Oh, you're not the most agile one out of the group.
Not yet, but I'll finish the most agile one.
Yeah, he will end up stacking the shit out of that.
I'm 53 at the moment. Mine. It's
Not a competition.
Oh, get my fate point back.
Yeah, okay.
For anybody,
And
I've got a willpower of 19.
It's worse than
It's
that's
worse
worse
than
than Quincy.
do I get +10 to the intelligence?
You do, yeah. It's basically get +10 for being guided. It's like assisting.
Gangster.
So yeah, that's some good rolls from everyone on the dancing. That's pretty cool.
I say, my dear, you are a fine teacher.
She seems a little flustered and a little, not embarrassed, but a little just like you're unsettling her in some way. She says, well, thank you, Mr. Wallace. That is most kind of you. And she's trying her very best to be polite, but you can tell she's just a
Why
bit
is your
unsettled.
pet talking to me?
Yeah, she's a bit
Watch your
unsettled.
eyes, Ramsey. Watch your eyes.
But she's the daughter of a naval captain who has also served in the Inquisition, so she's seen some shit.
She doesn't want to see your hairy toes.
Meanwhile, back in the Barking Saint,
we all walk out and nothing happens.
And nothing happens.
Volin Orday leaves.
It's uneventful.
You were all sat there with your drinks. What would you like to do?
I would like to drink my drink.
Drink your drink. Give me a carouse test at +30.
I thought I had carouse. It's not ticked on my sheet.
Yeah, you do have carouse. Roll 20. Roll 20 has a bizarre habit of sometimes wiping out the last update you made. But you do have carouse, I'm fairly certain.
You have to keep your eye on roll 20, you really do.
Yeah, it sometimes wipes shit out. Yeah, I'll have to double check that, but you do. So it'll be +40 altogether for you.
Oh, well, I'd put +20 on it. What have I got? So
that's a pass. That's a pass.
6.8 degrees of success with the extra 2.
I would like to pass Dick my drink as well.
Okay.
There you go, Dick.
Derekles, are you drinking your drink?
No.
Oh, you're passing my drink. Oh,
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
There you go, Dick.
Thank you very much, Derekles. Do you want me to trade you some oil sometime?
It's Ishmael, but
Yes.
no, it's fine.
Although sober, Dick's very confused about who Dick is, and he starts to mistake random people for himself. So give me another carouse test at +30 this time.
Down it, down it, down it.
Right, I'm going to do this in a wanna.
Okay.
Here we go. Oh, yeah, man. get it down.
Okay.
Nailed it.
So, you've necked your 2 drinks. Derekles has left his. Ishmael hasn't imbibed because, it's Ishmael and he doesn't.
WD-40.
Yeah, exactly. What would the 3 of you like to do right now?
I suppose is it time to go back? There's nothing else we can accomplish.
Yeah.
At this point,
Yeah.
it's getting on for like, let's have a think. About 4 or 5 p.m.
Oh, I'm just going to go to the side of the building.
Whatever you do, don't get into a fight.
I'm sure that won't happen. I'm sure we're gonna go
No, I must go with the group. We must leave. Side quests be damned.
Side quest.
Side quest be damned. So what are you? Dick. Just remember, this is not Darker Heresy, where every single moment you're given another side quest.
Yeah.
What would you like to do? The 3 of you.
Ravage the barmaid. Side quest number 1. Oh.
I think we're going to head back if everyone agrees.
Okay.
The information.
Okay.
As you begin to leave the Barking Saint, a large contingent of hab workers and factorum workers begin to spill into the bar. And I need you all to make an agility test with +20, luckily, because no one got drunk.
Oh, not me then.
No, you're not there.
Yeah. The other 2 played it real safe. Oh, I'm going to re-roll that.
Boom.
I've
least
got
I
to
tried.
I've got to move through crowd skill, Dave.
Yeah, you would have got a +10 for that, Johnny. So you still fail.
I'll go with that fail.
Going with that fail.
Yeah.
Ah, sweet. Okay, so I just need a moment to rearrange the map.
Sorry, Dave. I require a death fix. It's been at least 2 hours since I've seen any sort of death.
It's just seen
We
bloodshed.
nearly got out with nothing.
Okay, just give me a moment.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You need to feed Johnny. You need to feed him blood.
Don't get the flavor out, Johnny.
You've just
Not
wasted my
playing.
agility point.
I need to feed, basically.
So
You've
the
never
bar is
gone
suddenly
on.
filling
A
up.
crowd of people have just spilled into the bar, and I have a flamethrower.
Fucking hell.
May I remind you of the rule of first drawn, unhold styles barred?
Who
Yeah,
carries
but-
a flamethrower? No one.
No one.
All right, I've reminded you. That's my job done. Okay.
No flaming, Johnny.
Fuck
Johnny,
it,
no
I'll
flaming.
Uh,
Let's just walk out. There's no reason to fight these guys.
as you
Derekles. They all look like cultists, man. They all look like cultists.
Ishmael, you're on a different page.
They
You don't.
do.
Dick,
Agility.
don't say it, mate.
Ah.
Fine. Let's go.
Okay,
Let's
so
go
we get a
back.
+20 still.
All right, big man. I'm not going to argue.
As you're all leaving this bar, and this large amount of patrons file in, it's obviously a shift change somewhere. Most of you realise these people are, just your average everyday mid-hivers. They have a shit lot in life, and at the end of the day, they just want to come for a drink. And a few of them jostle you and nudge you, but it's nothing aggressive. But one of them shoulders Derekles incredibly hard and turns and goes, "You clumsy oat-brain filth! That's my drink!" And you see on the floor a flagon of ale and a puddle.
I'm going to pull out the chainsaw and shove it through his face.
Make a weapon skill attack.
Okay.
Smells sleeving.
Dave, I was holding my hand up. You know, as all these people are going past us, can I try pickpocket any of them as they go past us?
Yeah, let me do it one thing at a time, please. So make a
Okay,
weapon
no,
skill
I
attack,
think so.
Derekles.
Let's do one crime at a time.
That doesn't matter now, does it?
Okay, so that is a hit. I'm going to make a dodge roll for this guy, which he fails. Roll for damage.
Oh, poor guy.
Oh.
You could just pay for his
You
drink.
could have just bought him a drink, couldn't you?
Could have just bought him a drink.
He could have kept his mouth shut.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't encourage the
He's
fanatics.
just probably got berated by his boss for like.
It's
being
rending, Johnny.
1 second
Yeah, it's
late out
rending.
of overdue.
I'll roll that again.
Oh, no.
See if
I
it's better.
Tearing.
to help.
You're not even there, so don't worry about it.
I
Tearing,
ain't
that's
coming at all.
Okay, so 7 minus.
You're alone.
I'm just going to vox back to Vlad. We might be a while.
You carve out with the chainsaw, but in close confines like this, and there's a lot of people around you, it's hard to wield it properly, but you do manage to slice a chunk out of his leg, and he screams in pain.
Then we leave quietly.
Yeah. Why don't we just leave?
I'm gonna ask anyone who wants to be a part of this. Anyone who wants to be a part of this bar fight, roll initiative. If you don't roll initiative.
I think we're
Bar
going to
fight,
try and help him out. Yeah, we're going to have to
Oh,
help
it's
him out.
bar fight. You can't stop now, can we? It's like we might as well.
What is it? It's a D10,
Yes.
isn't it?
D10 plus your
True.
agility.
We need this, guys. We need this. We need to shed blood in the Emperor's name.
Remember, Derekles, stay quiet, stay under cover.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, no, sorry,
Rolling
sorry,
40 for initiative. That's what I
I
want.
know. I was trying to do a +4 on it, but
You got 24.
Wow, he's so fast.
I am.
Most agile guy in the group. Got
I want
24.
what he's
See,
doing.
I told you.
Okay, so what have we got? Johnny.
Oh,
Johnny's
I
got
just
a.
wanted-
Johnny's got a 4. That's really shit.
5
Oh, no.
plus
You had, what you had?
5.
Agility bonus.
Oh, I
Johnny's got 7.
in total.
7
I've
for
I've got 10.
I've got
7
4,
for
which is shit.
Derekles, 4 for Ishmael,
10.
and a 10 for Dick.
12 for Vlad, please.
You're not even there.
I know I'm not even there, but
Okay.
is that a problem?
No, not at all. If you want to do shit in sequence order, that's fine. I just I'm gonna have to just.
Brownie got 6.
I'm just gonna have to. I'm just gonna have to do something here.
You can yell encouragement to us.
How close are we? Can I actually snipe somebody from?
Oh no,
outside,
no!
like
You
the
are
house
you
window?
are fucking miles away and many levels below. I'm just
So-
gonna chuck Vlad on the map
Quick shot.
because he wants to somehow be involved in this. And what did you roll, Vlad, again? Sorry,
12, please.
a 12.
No,
Okay,
I was just kidding.
How did Vlad get there?
He's not there. He's
Psychic.
just he can hear what's
I'm
going on.
I'm having dancing
Ah.
lessons, so.
So he can because he's psychic. He can maybe influence things a little. Who knows? Right. So Vlad is there.
I'm just gonna send
Derekles.
I'm just going to vox Vlad and just say Derek, and he's going to understand what I'm on.
Do I hear the chainsaw going off?
Yeah, you would. You would.
Derek.
Dick, what did you get?
10.
A 10.
5 plus my agility, which is 5.
Yeah,
so-
yeah. Okay. And the patrons.
Subtlety, this is the Emperor's word.
That's a 4, so 7 for the patrons.
You're a fucking liability, Johnny.
Derekles.
Sorry, Derek.
Oh shit.
That's personal, man. If it's Derekles, it's not.
Sorry, Johnny. I didn't mean that.
No, I will go on record as saying that Johnny is a fucking liability in all these games. I have suffered at his hands so many times. It's not a it's you know, let's not beat around the bush. Johnny is a fucking liability.
I appreciate your kind words and
Hey,
acknowledgement of my effort.
Well, I say the heretic. Oh, wait, he's not a heretic. He's just
I'm just being honest, Johnny. I mean, let's think about it. You've fucked up every plan I've had as a GM, and the first time in my life of nearly 30 years of GMing that I get to play, and you've gone out your way to try and kill my character in various ways. So, fuck you. This bar fight is your fault, and you will suffer. And I'm just going to have a piss first.
My work here is done.
Johnny, honestly, we wouldn't have it any other way. It'd be, where's the spice? Johnny's the spice. Exactly. Where's
It's gonna be some
where's the
dancing spice.
paprika? Where's the paprika?
Let's pretend the guy whose drink I knocked out of his hand is a heretic.
He was asking for it. I mean, he might be a
He's
heretic.
had at least one heretical thought in his life, which makes him.
Well, we've got to feel sorry for this shift. What just walked in, really?
He spilled his drink deliberately on a man of the cloth, knowing.
You spilt his drink deliberately on a man's cloth of the cloth.
Is fucking expensive to dry clean, and now he's going to pay the price.
Fuck him. He's just a fucking steel worker.
Exactly.
Don't underestimate the power of Scunthorpe.
Okay, right. As this happens, and you bring the chainsaw up and carve into this first guy's leg, which is this guy here, that's right next to you, Derekles, to your to the right of the screen. What did you do to him? 4 wounds. So, as you do that, there's uproar as everyone begins to draw weapons. You see the bartender behind the bar pull a bulky shotgun. You see 2 of the hookers. Where have the hookers gone? I've lost the hookers. There they are.
That's against the rules. I only pulled out a chainsaw.
Yeah, you pulled a weapon that
point,
the person that started the fight does not have. So now the entire bar is against you. That was the point of Unworn Styles Bard.
Everybody gets to freestyle.
All he did was shoulder you. You've pulled a chainsaw, so now everyone has to pull weapons equivalent to a chainsaw. The 2 barmaids draw fancy-looking pistols. And you see other people begin to draw various improvised weapons, pistols, all sorts of shit. Meanwhile, back at the manor...
I'll just pretend I don't know anything.
You're
I don't know anything.
You're not even there. I wouldn't worry about it.
Or is Ishmael his ally having a brawl?
I'm gonna fate in a minute.
So,
what's the range on an Exodus rifle?
Oh, preposterous! About half a kilometre for a short-range shot. But you'd have to have line of sight,
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's also targeting shit you can get for it, where you can shoot without line of sight, and you can shoot through walls and all sorts. Yeah. So, you find yourselves, Mira, Vladmir, and Ramsey seated in Lord Strophes' study, where you first met him. On the wall are multiple, various interesting artifacts, ancient tech, clearly valuable, and in the corner is the form of his great uncle who founded the house, mummified but well preserved, looking like a living person, standing with his arms outstretched, being used as a coat rack. And Lord Strophes begins to teach you about the law of Hive Sibyllus. And he says to you, Scintilla barely bothers with even the pretense of equal law enforcement, and nowhere is this as evident as it is in Hive Sibyllus. Nobles of the Spire expect and receive immediate attention from the Magistratum, Scintilla's police force. For any crime they care to report, nobles who regularly give to the Magistratum charity funds get the more competent officers assigned to their cases. Those of the Middle Spire will be assigned a green coat if the crime is particularly noteworthy or violent. And you know the green coats are basically officers of the Magistratum that have recently joined the ranks and passed out. Few officers have the courage or the inclination to go into the depths of Hive Sibyllus's underhive. With the appropriate permits from the correct government organizations, without the correct permits, power armor is exclusively prohibited in Hive Sibyllus. Such permits cause questions to be asked, and the questions that uncover acolytes are always a bad thing. Personal weapons are permitted within the upper hive, even expected, as Scintillan law legally allows both trial by combat and dueling. Heavy weapons, however, are prescribed without express permits. A bolter is a dead giveaway that someone is well connected indeed, although bolt pistols are not unknown amidst Hive nobles. If you go looking around like walking arsenals, you will be harassed or perhaps even detained by the magistratum. But one or two concealable weapons will easily stand you in good stead. Remember, though, you are supposed to be undercover. Try and avoid drawing undue attention to yourselves.
Johnny!
Oh.
In my experience within the Calexis sector, the role and nature of enforcer cadres varies wildly. Perhaps the most well-organized and numerous force is the Magistratum of Scintilla. They cover all levels of the Hive from the lower to upper Hive, and they notice everything. They are more akin to a paramilitary force, serving as the direct agency of the office of the Lord Governor. They are no mere law enforcement agency. The Magistratum numbers tens of thousands of armed men and women, nearly as well resourced as the Adapters Arbites, and not all of them are out in plain sight. Many are in plain clothes, undercover, hidden in plain sight.
Did you just write that in?
No.
Oh.
Only a few short centuries ago, the Magistratum was rife with corruption. The Arbites judge Astrid Skane found herself fighting a lonely battle against adversaries, wielding power both political and martial. Her successful cleansing of the organization, along with several allies of hers, saw her elevated to the rank of Inquisitor. You have all heard of this legendary figure of Judge Astrid Skane. She's a former Arbite who patrols the region of Scintilla. She's now an Inquisitor, and she basically sees wickedness and evilness everywhere and has no mercy. Laurent goes on to say, when heavy-handed Magistratum tactics stirred up a hornet's nest of trouble during what came to be known as the Renhalt Blackouts, open warfare broke out between the Magistratum and the criminal gangs, spilling over from the slums and the no-go zones into the Hive's infrastructure. Power was cut to several dozen Mid-Hive districts for days, and your minds drift back to your time in Koskal district, where the power was out for many years. Fear and anarchy took hold and tens of thousands died, with whole regions gutted by raging fires. Many sections of the Hive, damaged by the blackout, still remain burnt-out ruins to this day, collapsing into the Underhive. They are now the haunt of dregs and worse. As a consequence, rioting and thanks to the loss of face and perceived failure of the Magistratum, they have become even more brutal in execution in their duties. Oh, Johnny, if only you'd have waited. So, what I want now from Vladmir, Mira and Ramsey is some intelligence tests at +10. This is to learn law enforcement. And what this is going to do later in the game is if you do something that is about to bring great attention or law breaking to you, you will get a very severe warning from me. It won't say you can't do it, but it will tell you, the consequences will be dire. A bit like what's going on right now in the other group. Yeah.
What do we make? Sorry.
Intelligence test at +10.
Oh, fuck.
Tell that both Hayden and Ed are impressed with my move.
I'm thinking about walking out the pub.
Walk out.
Just get
out.
safety.
I'm thinking of dropping a can of Prometheum on the floor and basically firing a pistol into it. You know what I mean? Just so I can sort this out quickly.
So Ramsey, 2.8 degrees of success. Mira, you've got a failure there. You do have another fate point if you wanted to use that.
Big fail for me, Dave.
Big fail.
Big fail. Strong fail.
I feel like I should come and live here. I think I might retire here.
It's like you belong.
I've only got one fate point. I don't know.
But it is also nearly 10 o'clock.
Metagaming.
I'm just saying.
Oh, we're stopping at 10?
No, we're stopping at about 11, but I'm just saying, you need to figure out, do you think you'll need it later?
Probably not.
Choose wisely.
No, probably not. I'm staying here. I don't know.
Nobody knows.
Make a decision.
Oh, sorry.
To see if you learn about the law.
Nah,
Fuck the law, man.
no.
Leanne fought the law and the law won. Okay.
If other people know, they should surely just tell me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Ramsey, you take in a lot about these lessons in the law and the magistratum and how to behave when the law gets involved. The rest of you, not so well. Back in the Barking Saint.
There we go.
Vladmir, despite not being there, you can hear what's going on and you're top of the initiative order.
I would like to cast projection, please.
Go for it.
4 dice, I think.
Okay, big dice. I'll just get the perils table ready.
You get it out.
I think I should have rolled.
Oh, and I'll put the perils table back down.
It's a pass with no perils.
It is a pass.
And I would like to think that I am by Derek's side.
Faster than the speed of thought, you hear the initial confrontation, the gruff raised voices and the whir of a chainsaw and the yelp of pain. And you close your eyes, your body goes limp and collapses to the floor, which gives you another degree of failure on your previous roll.
Oh, on the intelligence. Okay. So that's 5 degrees of failure.
You whiz through the hive, passing through walls and bulkheads, seeing millions of people going about their everyday business. You cruise over busy factorums, belching clouds of smoke, and down into the Mid Hive, screaming faster than anything that physically exists, and find yourself in this Barking Saint, this inn built from the statue of a dog's head, carved out of the insides of its mouth, and you see Derekles, slow motion, tearing a chunk from a man's leg as patrons fill into the bow.
Okay, that's my go.
Okay.
Sorry for that.
Mr. Pincher.
Can you let me grab my character?
Oh, sorry.
Rage, Johnny.
Oh, what the fuck is going on here? There we go. I'm having some lag here. Just bear with me.
I got him.
Yeah, you've got him.
I'm gonna move him. I'm gonna move him to the door.
Drink on my robe. That's tantamount to sacrilege.
I haven't drawn my weapons. I've just moved him to the door.
Yeah, the door's actually 2 squares down, but I need you to make an agility test as you push your way through the handful of people that are there.
Yep. Simply just float past them.
So you just keep moving down towards the door. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4. They're not hostile to you, so you can move through them. So
Yeah, I'm just going to observe what's going to happen from here.
So that's...
And if people start shooting my mates, then I can shoot them in the back of the head.
That's 4 squares to there.
Yeah, that's my turn. I'm going to ready for my last bit of action. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Next up, Derekles, the Illuminator.
Okay. I'm just going to headbutt this the guy that I've chainsawed. Actually, no. I'll just finish him off. I'll just be like, I'll just push. Actually, no. Just fuck it. I'll just cut him down.
Okay. So what you doing? All out attack.
Yeah. Fuck him. I'll dare he spill fucking drinks in my road.
Don't try and justify crazy.
So give me an attack.
That's a hit.
It is. He's going to try and dodge. He fails. Roll the damage.
Excellent. Now he will suffer consequences getting in the way of the inquisitorial work.
I don't think he knows you're an Inquisitor agent.
He doesn't. He bloody well will soon.
So it's a 9 minus 3.
Undercover.
You cleave the man in half with your second stroke, and blood sprays across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other. Oh, and the bartender. And across you, and a bit on Ishmael as well.
The spray zone. Derekles.
Vlad's seen this all in slow motion, and I'm sure it looks spectacular. I hope.
Honestly, I'm all for the killing of heretics, Derek. So
He is a heretic.
Is he now?
Yes.
I don't know. I'm kind of on. I'm usually on Derek's side because I'm also a fanatic.
Okay, after Derekles.
Show such disrespect to a man of the ecclesiastical church is tantamount to heresy. Very spilling of a drink on one's robe.
Why is this not
heresy?
Zeal in the name of the Emperor.
As I've restrained from drinking.
Okay.
He drew the weapon first. He drew the glass of ale, the mug of ale, and that to me is heresy.
Ishmael.
I'm only actually 4, not 7 on initiative.
Oh, are you? Oh, my bad.
Yeah. I rolled a 1.
Okay. In that case.
One down, 20 to go.
Right. So these gentlemen all just begin to swarm. He can't get there. He can't get there.
Flame will work.
You got quick draw.
Let me check. Probably not.
I could do 2 a turn, but that's it.
I've forgotten all the teachings that I was supposed to have learned about subtlety and about using words.
Use your words
instead of swords.
Okay.
To handle conflict.
First of all, we've got four of the patrons are each going to make an all-out attack on Derekles.
Okay.
That's a hit for the first one. Second one's a hit. Third one's a hit. Fourth one's a miss. First one does no damage. Second one is 4, 7. What's your toughness and armor on your body?
Toughness bonus is 3, and armor on body is 6.
Okay.
6. Jesus.
That doesn't do any damage. Fourth one struck you in the face. What's your armor on your body?
On my body is 6.
No, on your head.
5. So I've got carapace on it.
So that's 5, 8.
8 all in total.
Smashes into your helmet. Doesn't do any damage. You hear the boom of a shotgun as the bartender fires into the roof and goes, "Everyone fucking pack it in, this is a respectable establishment." Also at the back of the bar. I need Ishmael and Derekles, in fact, Dick as well, to make an awareness test at -10.
Including myself, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just one. 2.
A -10, you say?
Yes. for the noise of the bar.
Oh,
I got awareness.
No.
I failed. Yeah, by a lot.
Failed.
The noise of the bar. Just being hit by lots of people at once.
Okay. All hell breaks loose. Various people begin to shout and yell as these punches are rained down on Derek and bounce off his armor. Meanwhile, back in the manor, Ramsey runs out of the room, down a corridor, and into a side room, and finds exactly what he's looking for, a thick-shafted wooden spoon. And that would be your turn, Ramsey.
Okay.
Okay. Vlad.
I would like to. Can you just tell me to confirm how psychics work? Can I cast a minor power then a major power?
No, I do minors as half an action, but majors as like equivalent to a full attack.
Okay, so I'm going to use telepathy as a major, as a full action. I'm going to broadcast to everyone within the bar, and the intention is to go disperse in the name of the magistrum.
Magistratum.
Yeah, disperse in the name of magistratum. Well, she will be punished. I'll do a 4d10.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to. Ooh. Do I have a fate point left? I think I might have one
I
left.
think you have.
I will use it.
Yeah, you've only used one.
Are those ones all bad?
No, but the 9.
I mean, trust me, they're bad.
Top 9 is.
That's a pass.
That's better.
That's better. So that's a pass, and basically my my broadcast is disperse in the name of the magistratum. If you stay here and continue fighting, you will be punished. Disperse now.
What power is this again?
It's telepathy, and I can broadcast to anyone within a certain range. So I'd like to broadcast within the inn itself.
Okay.
It's just speech. It's just speech.
So this is basically like an intimidation tactic.
Mass intimidation, Alex.
That's the intent.
Oh my God, you've made this really difficult. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Give me an intimidation roll. You can use your willpower instead of your strength.
Sure.
Yay.
So
That's a pass. Even at half. It's even at half.
So that's 4. Okay. I'm going to do some random roll shit.
It's been a mad session. What the fuck are we gonna fail in different sessions? It's gonna be like back-to-back failure. I just feel like I've been passing everything this session just to.
So you have to pay for it. But James, can I argue that you've been paying for it for the last 20 years, and now
True.
True. It's coming.
So many last cannons.
That's the argument I would make.
Right, okay,
You've already paid for it. You don't have to pay it forward.
All for today.
Yeah,
Perfect game. I'm going to get hit by a lightning bolt next time I walk outside.
Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to briefly move this up here. And I'm going to move this away. And then I'm going to move this... Oh, no, I'm not. I'm going to move this back. No, I'm not, because the game won't let me. Oh, what the fuck?
You must have prepared for this, Dave.
I kind of expected it, yeah.
It was inevitable, surely.
Which is why it's going on the way it does. And a number of the patrons just turn and flee. Some of them are cowering in corners, but many of them push past Dick out of the pub.
I'm going to try and pick
and the ones that are left,
on the way out.
the ones that are left are left. Make a sleight of hand test. It's your turn now anyway.
Can I do two? Because I wanted to do one when they came in.
Yeah, you did. So make a sleight of hand test on the first one.
Right, 1 second. Let me get my character sheet up. Get off this touchscreen thing and use my mouse.
Wallet pincher.
I know. It's this first sleight of hand test.
Okay, make another one.
Second sleight of hand test.
That's a fail. So you on the first guy on the first turn, you managed to get 2 thrones out of his pocket as he ran past. The second guy, he kind of shrugs you off as you go by.
Okay.
As he goes by, sorry. So that would be your turn. Derekles.
I'm just going to address the people that left. I was like, this man was a known heretic. Any that side with him are also considered heretics. We do well to this first. Remember, the Emperor will always guide his loyal servants in the purging of heretics. Let this be a lesson to you all.
Make an intimidation check.
Yeah.
It's your strength. Plus 10.
Burn the heretic! Burn them!
That's it. And then I whip out my flamethrower and set the whole bar on fire. No, I don't.
Oh dear.
So that's
get some
fail by 2 plus fail by 6.
I'm going to use a fate point if I've got another one.
Hang on. Chewie, you sat on my mouse, you fucking bell end.
Chewie.
Just let her do it.
Chewie.
Sure, bar.
Sausage.
Hi. Oh, hi, sausage. Glaring at me. Oh, you're sausage.
So, most of the patrons back away from you, Derekles, as you say this. One, who is stood right next to Ishmael on the bar, brandishing a mean-looking club, continues to glare at you. The one in front of you does not back down. The bartender holds his shotgun still, and his 2 bar staff behind him, the 2 prostitutes, which are stood sort of there, they brandish pistols pointing your direction. The barman lowers his shotgun and says, "And who are you to declare people heretics in this place, you fucking arsehole?" Ishmael, it's your turn.
Oh dear.
She makes a compelling argument.
Yeah.
Grab him and drag him off.
Well stated.
Drag him out of the pub.
Chuck him in river.
Yeah,
To be honest, the rivers around here would probably kill him more effectively than Derekles would.
Yep.
I'm going to grab hold of Derek and start moving out of the bar.
Okay, Derek, do you resist?
No.
You do not resist. So you easily drag Derekles
That's out of character, Derekles. You sure?
away from the bar.
That's a gaming.
Sorry.
Cool, the meta pigeon.
Sorry.
Leanne's calling you out.
Come on.
I can't argue with her.
Okay.
No,
As I'm being dragged away, as I'm being pushed out, I'm going to glare back. Heresy. Not be tolerated.
Okay, so
I won't even answer why.
Sorry.
Ishmael drags Derekles out of the bar. The patrons don't seem to respond, but they do definitely glare after you as you go. You're still technically in combat at the minute. Vlad. Wait.
Is there anyone? Go on, sorry.
No, yeah, Vlad.
Is there anyone who are following?
At the minute,
Are
they're all
they
just sort
backing
of.
off?
They're all just. There's a couple of them that. I mean, the barman and 2 of the patrons are still glaring at him, but the rest are sort of backing away, looking a bit unwary.
But no one's pursuing them.
Not yet.
Okay, I will just I will follow Ishmael and co. I won't do anything if no one is attacking them.
So you follow them out of the bar. Dick, you're still stood inside the bar at the door.
Go to the bar and get myself a beer.
Okay, so you head over to the bar. The barman is still holding his shotgun, and he looks at you, glances out the door, looks back at you, and goes, "Yes, mate. What can I get you?"
another pint of grog, please, pal.
Okay, and he pulls you a pint of grog and slams it down on the bar in front of you.
I'll do my cruise test.
And he says, 2 thrones.
And I pay the guy, and I tip him another 2 for say, sorry about that dick with a chainsaw. We don't know why I bring him out sometimes. No offense, Johnny. It's just I'm trying to apologise.
As he takes the 2 thrones, he takes the 2 thrones from you, he says, "He with you, was he?"
No.
That's what I thought.
I just happened to walk in the bar with him at the same time, and he talked to me. It just made me feel like a.
Make a
make it in a hole. Stop digging test.
Make a.
I'm gonna try to charm him.
Wait, first of all, I would like you to make a deceive test.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, I have deceived.
You do, yeah.
You get a 1.
How convenient.
Do it, Dick.
Oh,
Yeah.
When you say no, he goes, "There's always some cunt comes round this time of night fucking swinging his dick."
That's my name, man.
I am so sorry. That was terrible. He said, "Always someone comes round here this time of night looking for trouble."
Me around, was he? He tried to make puns on my name.
And he takes your thrones and just goes, "Yeah, well, thanks for not being a massive dick."
Do you mind, hey, brother, do you mind if I search that guy before I go out?
What guy?
The dead one on your floor.
I don't fucking know who he is. I don't fucking care.
Right,
and slowly, you notice everyone just kind of starts going back to normal in the Barking Saint. But I would like you to make an awareness test.
Oh, it's like Saturday night, Sonny.
Yeah.
I wish it was.
Saturday nights are for fighting.
Yeah, it is Saturday.
So
Okay. Dick, as you watch as everyone goes back about the business and the bartender moves back to his bar and starts mopping up the blood that splattered on the bar, most of the patrons go back to their tables. You see one of the barmaids moves around here and just peers out down the entrance corridor with her pistol still drawn. However, you do notice at the back of the bar, the second, I've called them barmaids, but they're not barmaids. They're basically hookers. You see the second barmaid finger in her ear and begin muttering.
I'm going to approach the second barmaid.
Okay.
Beer in hand. I'll just do my cruise test now. I'm going to try to get down it. I'll only get a plus 10 this time because I've had a plus 20 last time.
Yeah, so give me a roll for that. No, it'd be a plus 20 because this is your third drink and you get a plus 10 for a cruise.
I failed by 0.1 then.
Okay. So you're now minus 10 to all your
1.7,
stats.
sorry. Okay.
And you're fatigued.
All right. I'm just going to try charm her and say, hey, gorgeous.
She's a fucking cultist.
The fucking undercover
Just
cop.
make an awareness test for me as you approach her. It's not sight based. If you have any bonuses for sight based, but it'll be
No.
-10. Yeah, okay.
Right,
So you
that
don't
doesn't
hear
count.
what she says as you approach. Okay.
Okay. Go try charm her.
Mm-hmm. What are you saying?
Actually, no. I'm going to make a. Give me a second. An inquiry test.
Inquiry test.
Hmm.
What are you saying to her?
Hello, beautiful. I see you're reporting in someone. Who might that be? For an inquiry, I could always cross your palm with gold or thrones if you so partake.
Give me a charm test for that.
Okay, damn it! Good one. I need
Wits.
charm. Boom. Yeah.
She says, trouble causers. You know, we keep an eye on them. Spread word to the surrounding establishments. He won't be getting in anywhere else tonight. Fucking knobhead.
Why? What's that? So I'm gonna make an inquiry and say what happens to Bellends like him then.
Depends who he fucking squares up to, doesn't it? Fucking pulls a
Right.
weapon like that in a place like this. Everyone knows about it within an hour. He won't be getting served nowhere tonight. And if he's lucky, the magistratum will find him. If he's not, someone else might find him.
Uh-oh.
Right.
hope I'm
Thank
not.
you very much. Thank you much. I'll give her a throne for her trouble.
She takes the throne and just kind of goes, stuffs it in her pocket. Knock another throne off.
Yeah, will do.
Did
And
look. This is what it's. I've got so much paperwork and so much shit to deal with, and most of it is sat upon by this fat shit. Look at her, just sprawling.
It's a lockdown spread.
It's a middle-aged. I'm sorry, Chewie.
Oh, don't pick
Oh,
on
I'm
her.
so sorry, Chewie. I'm very mean to you. Come here. Come here. Come and say hello to everyone. Come on. Come on.
so I'm going to exit the bar and say, I'm not even going to say bye to her. I'm just going to exit the bar.
Okay, you exit the bar.
And just meet up and try and catch up with everybody else.
Okay, outside the bar, before Dick exits, Ishmael, you still have hold of Derekles. What would you like to do?
Carry me, Ishmael.
One of them.
We're gonna head back to the car.
So you're just heading straight back to the bar, to the car. You're not saying anything to him.
No, I'm just going to keep hold of him.
Okay.
And not blow him along. Really fast.
While all this was going on, Ramsey returned from the kitchen with a wooden spoon and wedged it firmly in the mouth of Vladmir as he laid inert on the floor.
Good. I don't want to swallow my tongue.
Yeah. So Mira, you see this. You see Vladimir's basically eyes roll back, the whites of his eyes take over, and he collapses. And quick as fuck, Ramsey runs off, and you're like, "What's up with Vladmir?" And before you can even get back, Ramsey's that fast. Ramsey comes back, puts this wooden spoon in his mouth. Vladmir, what would you like to do?
So has the threat abated from the end? Then
You've seen Dick talk to the barman and the barmaid. You've seen Ishmael escorting Derekles away from the bar. Frog marching him down the street.
I'll return to my body.
Okay, and you suddenly come round in the wherever you were in the study of Lord Strophes.
Oh, okay.
And Lauren looks. It's a good job you weren't in the ballroom because that's a long way from the kitchen. Laurent looks alarmed. He's standing up. You see his one arm that's a power armored arm now grips. Oh shit! He grips a sword, but I can't remember what kind. but it's a good sword. In his other hand, he grips a plasma pistol, and he's scanning the area for threats. He's seen Vlad go down, and he's panicked. Julia has backed away behind the sofa, and she's cowering. She doesn't know what happens. And you wake up with these two doing this, and Ramsey wedging a spoon into your mouth. Mira doesn't know what the fuck has just happened. She's just seen you fall back, eyes rolling back, and seen Ramsey rush to your aid.
I'm gonna pat Ramsey on the shoulder.
Okay.
Hey, my good man. I'm gonna take the spoon out of my mouth first.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh, my good man. My good man.
My good man.
He's got to be.
I'm gonna say to is it Lord Strophes who's there?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. What did you say, son? Oh,
Tanner's having some sort of epileptic fit. All right, then.
That's exactly how I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna say to Lord Strophes, I'm gonna say, forgive me, the mercury poisoning that I took on Thanks World. It manifests itself in seizures at times. I hope I did not startle you. My good man, Ramsey, knows exactly what to do.
I would like
preventing me from biting off my own tongue.
I would like you to give me a either deceive or charm if you've got it. If not, give me half a fellowship.
I don't have either deceive or charm, so I'll just
I have a deceive. So maybe you could go along with me.
You can get a +10 from Ramsey assisting.
Well, yeah, okay. Do you want to assist me, Ramsey?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so I'll go for a half fellowship +10.
It's only joking.
It's only joking.
No idea what's going on, do I?
It's a
no,
massive
you don't.
Fail, Dave.
A massive fail.
Massive fail.
Oh dear.
Leanne, look. I've rolled a 99. Lord Strophes goes, well, that's a most unfortunate condition, my new friend. I can arrange Medicaid assistance if it would be of any help.
And I'll say, yes, that would be most kind.
I will have someone here by before the end of the evening.
Oh.
You honor me, sir. You honor me.
No. You honor me, young Vladmir. Lord Varek is a good friend of mine, and as acolytes of his, I am indebted to you.
Let us hope I do not have a seizure at the party itself. It would be most embarrassing.
It would be beyond embarrassing, Vladmir, if we are indeed to continue your cover.
Alas, it cannot be helped. If it happens, it happens. We must play the hand that we are dealt.
Is there any way I can provide assistance? Any medical aid, chemicals, drugs, that sort of thing that can alleviate your condition?
Perhaps. Had I heard about this? What's the name of that random drug?
Oh, Spur.
No, the other stuff at the inn.
Oh, Farcosia.
Did I hear about that?
No,
I didn't hear that.
You would have heard. Wait, were you listening in when they spoke to Audet?
I believe so.
So you've heard of it, but you have no idea what it does.
I'm gonna. What's the name of it? What's the name of it again?
Farcosia.
Have you heard of a drug called Farcosia?
Just a second, I need to find Lord Strophes' character sheet because I don't know if he does. So I'm about to find out. Yeah, he has. On a ridiculously good roll of a 6. He says, I've heard rumours that there's a great number of the youngsters within Hive Sibyllus society, higher society, have discovered a new chemical called Farcosia, but from what I've heard, I don't think it would be any use to you.
And could you perchance assist me with an introduction to one of these youngsters?
Just a sec. Julia steps forward and says, I couldn't help it over here. Father is somewhat naive in such matters. And Lord Strophes says, Julia, I've never been naive in all my years. I have served in the Imperial Navy for over 100 years. And Julia says, indeed you have, Father, but recently you have been very much out of touch with what has gone on in Sibyllus High Society, and I have not. I believe I can maybe acquire you some Facos, yeah? And Lord Strophes looks distressed at this. Says, Julia, where on earth do you know of such things? And she says, I hear things, Father. I hear things. Give me time. I'll see what I can do.
Yes, an introduction would be most appreciated, my dear. And thank you. I apologize for imposing upon you so. I feel most faint. Perhaps I may go to my room now.
Of course, of course. And Julia says, oh, you're not imposing at all. This entire escapade is rather exciting, is it not?
Most fascinating, isn't it?
And she grins at you.
Oh dear.
Okay. While this is occurring, back in the Mid Hive, leaving the mild carnage of the Barking Saint, Dick.
Mild, it was mild.
Could have been worse.
It could have been much worse.
It could. It would have been, to be honest. Dick.
I can imagine the Arbites power dropping down on our location and arresting us.
No, it wouldn't have been the Arbites. It wouldn't have been the Arbites. It would have been the Magistratum. But anyway, Dick, Derekles, and Ishmael. You find yourself. It's now getting on. It's now getting on for about 7 or 8 in the evening, and the night cycle has begun to kick in, and the lights in the streets begin to dim. These gas burning lights turned down low by some remote source. You hear still raised voices. Dick actually is still inside the bar.
I thought I'd run to try and catch him up.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you spoke to the young lady and left, didn't you?
Yeah, I just abandoned her.
What would the three of you like to do? It's about 7 or 8 in the evening.
I think we're just going to head back as quick as possible.
I'm glad we've got a steady hand there in Ishmael.
Is there a casino nearby?
Is there a casino? Why is everyone obsessed with a fucking casino? Jesus.
No,
there are no casinos in this part of the Mid Hive. There definitely are not.
Went to a French casino. I was underage.
I'm not surprised with you.
The French let you anywhere.
Do they now?
They let you drink when you're like about 12. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. They're fucking filthy bastards.
They also there's lots of selling mini dynamite.
So it's about 7 p.m. Ishmael, Dick, and Derekles, are you heading back?
I'm going to head back. I'm going to hold on to Derek still, and I'm going to march to the transport.
Okay.
You still frog market march Derekles?
Yes.
He's got him by the earlobe.
I'm gonna come up to Ishmael and say, hey man, I think he knows what he's done. He can walk himself, can't he, Derekles?
Unhand me, Ishmael. It was a mere misunderstanding. It has been resolved.
I'm just going to keep walking. I'm just going to keep walking fast, dragging him along.
Well, with Derekles.
Unhand me!
Unhand me, you cad!
9.
You nonny pincher!
I'll just start laughing and following suit.
Okay. I would like all 3 of you to make an awareness test. Derekles, I would like you to make it a -10 because you're being dragged along a little bit awkwardly by Ishmael.
Just a straight awareness test.
Yep, straight awareness, no bonus.
Yeah, my awareness is on fire tonight. My 28 roll. I'm so aware.
I failed because I'm too busy holding on to Derek.
Okay.
Looking everywhere.
Hmm?
What was that? It was only a bug.
Okay, 1 second.
I saw it flying in slow motion.
I wish I had more ciders.
I would like you to. I would like Johnny and Hayden to check Facebook Messenger.
Why?
Why?
Just why? Why?
Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
I'm just generalising life.
Right, let's have a look at this
Life.
Facebook
Why?
message. Have I got one? I'm not on Facebook.
You're on Messenger though, Hayden.
I am. So I haven't.
I'll send you a message on Messenger, Hayden.
Oh God.
Not got it yet.
Just a sec. I haven't sent it yet. Right, I've
Oh,
sent
thanks,
Johnny's. Hayden.
I'm here for you, buddy.
Just give me a second. I'm just going to lock my back door.
Okay, and I've sent Hayden's as well.
Okay.
Okay, and the three of you begin to push your way back through the still busy at this time of night, Mid Hive streets of the hustle, back towards the vehicle parked just at the entrance to the upper hive, up many rusty stairs.
I feel that went well.
So,
Could have gone a lot worse.
It could have. Yeah.
Good.
Vladmir,
We did pretty well.
Mira and Ramsey.
Excitement right now. Go for a brawl. Let's go. Sorry.
Julia basically says to you, "Well, I don't quite know what happened there," and she looks with concern at Vladimir and says, "But
It's the Mercury. The Mercury."
She looks at the time and you see it's around 7 p.m. and she says, "But dinner will be served in a little over an hour. If there's anything else you'd like to go over, I would be happy to assist you before we retire for our evening meal." So basically, you can pick one of the 5 categories that you've already gone over and add bonus rolls to it. So you all have to agree on the same one. There's not enough time to do individual ones. So you've got etiquette, clothing, customs, dancing, and law/magistratum.
Do you have a list of what everyone's passed and failed?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I don't have a strong feeling. I'll leave it up to you guys. What I'd like to ask though, Dave, is who are the notaries we might expect at the party, like the movers and shakers?
Yep. Okay. So I'll come back to that. I'll just deal with this first.
Mm-hmm.
So overall, I'm not going to give you exact numbers, but I'm going to give you a vague idea based on your own feelings of how you've done.
Yeah.
In terms of etiquette, Vlad's done pretty well. In fact, you've all done pretty well with etiquette. Clothing, you've spent money, and the only way to improve that is to think of something else to do with it.
Fashion sense.
Yeah. It's a bit of a weird thing. You won't really know until your outfit's turned up. In terms of customs, again, you've all done really well. Ramsey's not done the best. Vlad's done okay. Mira's done really well with customs.
I think overall the worst was probably the law.
The dancing, dancing was reason. Yeah, you're right. Law and magistratum, you've all had a bit of a fuck up on that.
I passed.
Yeah. You passed really well, but Vlad had a big fail on that. So
maybe that's the one that we should go back over.
I feel we should go for etiquette again and just try and max out on etiquette.
Cool.
Happy with that?
Yeah.
It's entirely up to you guys.
Who needs etiquette?
People pretending to be nobles.
Yeah. Either then. Yeah.
We'll double down on that then.
Yeah.
Okay, so you go in to have another couple of hours while these guys get back. I need 2 2 fellowship rolls at plus 10. It'll be, yeah, plus 10 from each of you, please.
2, did you say?
Yeah. You've got 2 hours worth, so. Okay, so that's a fail. A fail and a pass. Okay. Ramsey and Mira.
What was for etiquette? Sorry.
Fellowship.
Yeah. Sorry. Brain's a bit. Plus 10, was it?
Uh-huh.
I'll re-roll that one.
Okay.
Yep. And the last one.
Okay. Leanne, I need another one off you. It was 2 rolls, please. What was your second one? Just a fail. Okay.
Yeah. I'm just wondering if I should re-roll that as well. Let me see if I get the fate point. No.
Ooh.
Leanne's done really well with the etiquette shit. Which she should, because she's, you know, a little bit well-bred.
She's well brought up, isn't she? She's
Yeah, yeah, she is. And she's also very sharp. She learns fast. Okay, so you spend the next couple of hours.
Same.
Oh, unfortunate.
0.02.
You've got a good hefty pass though. It'll probably help you out. So over the next couple of hours, you spend a bit of time with Julia. Lord Strophes isn't there for this. He doesn't really deal with etiquette. And eventually, after a couple more hours lessons in how to behave, you find yourselves summoned to the dining room. Julia heads out with you. Lord Strophes is there too. And around the same time, Ishmael, Dick, and Derekles, you pass through the gate of the between the upper and mid hive, and you're stopped briefly and asked for identification, but you were provided with false identification from Inquisitor Varrock. Is everyone showing their false identification?
1 second, Dave. Just before, in response to your message, which I couldn't find before I had to go lock the back door, I'm just going to look at him and nod my hat and then carry on walking.
Cool. Okay.
All right.
Yep. No problem.
And yes, I'm going to show my fake ID.
Okay. You are allowed entry back into the upper hive, and shortly you find yourselves arriving back at the Strophes Manor at around the same time that Vladmir, Mira, Ramsey, and Julia sit down, and you enter, sit down for your meal, and shortly Lord Strophes arrives as well, and a few servants emerge and begin placing your meals in front of you, and the cuisine is exquisite. And Ramsey, you notice how good the food is. It's definitely some of the best food you've ever encountered. Make an intelligence test at plus 10, please, Ramsey.
Yay.
You think you may have learnt something from the balance of flavors, herbs, and spices.
Special blend.
Yeah. And as the servants leave the room, Lord Strophes sits back, tucks into his meat, has a good chew, and then says, "So, young Vladmir, tell me, do you feel you're equipped for dealing with the viper's nest that is Sibyllus Hive Society?"
You have prepared us well, my lord, and we are as ready as we shall ever be.
Good. Julia is a fine teacher, a good asset. She currently is without employment. And he raises his eyebrows as he says this. And Julia says, "Oh, Father, please, not this again."
Shall she be attending the party?
She sits forward and says, "But of course, Vladimir. Do you think I would let you go into that den of iniquity without me by your side?" And she gives you a cheeky grin.
It is a great comfort to know that you shall be there, and should you perform admirably, I understand that my Lord Varric may be interested to hear of it.
She grins as you say this and looks towards her father. And Lord Strophes says, "Julia, you do not know what you're getting into. The consequences," and he raises his bionic arm and says, "The consequences of being involved in the Inquisition are life-altering." And Julia says, "Indeed, Father, but you still managed to raise a good daughter, did you not?" And Lord Strophes looks a little disgruntled at this comment, like he doesn't know what to make of it. You know, he knows she's sort of maybe got a point, that although he served the Inquisition, he still had a good life afterwards.
Is there any purer calling?
Is there what?
Is there any purer calling?
Lord Strophes straightens up and says, "Well, Vladimir, as a matter of fact, I believe there is. Service to the armed forces. You know where you stand. There's none of this clandestine nonsense."
But what of the moral threat, Lord Strophe? What of that? Does the armed forces deal with the impurity in the very soul?
He looks straight at you and makes eye contact and says, "Vladimir, you are young. You know little of the moral threat encountered on a daily basis by the armed forces of the Holy Emperor's mighty armies and navies. And let me tell you, I have seen more in my time than you would dare to imagine."
I'm going to avert eye contact. I'm going to bow my head and said, "I do not mean to insult you, my Lord Strophe, and I know very much of the moral threat, and I have seen more than perhaps you may imagine. But we are not here to be combative. We are here as allies, are we not?"
Make a fellowship test at a +20.
Yeah, it's good.
He softens his gaze and sits back in his chair, sips his wine and says, "Forgive me, Vladimir. It's just, in my time in service, I have been questioned for my absence from command numerous times. If only those who made such questions of me knew the true horrors I had seen."
I'm going to raise a toast to him and say, "To your health, sir."
And he raises his glass back at you and says, "No, Vladimir. To the God Emperor on holy terror."
To the Emperor!
For the Emperor!
To the Emperor! a little bit of a froth is going to, go at my corner of my lips.
Okay. The meal continues on for another hour or so. Idle chit-chat continues between you and the Strophes. Most of the chit-chat involves Lord Strophes telling war stories. And he seems to revel in this. Now he's warmed to you all, mainly due to Vladimir's last exchange. And he tells you some interesting stories about his time serving in the Navy. But he skirts very carefully around certain subjects. There's moments where he refers to those in charge. He never elaborates on this, but he tells you about how those in charge sent him and his ship, which he doesn't name, to various corners of the Calexis sector. And you get the impression from a lot of his stories that he wasn't always front line. He was often behind enemy lines with his ship. You get the impression he did a lot of black ops work with the Inquisition. He doesn't give a lot of details, but his stories of battle and his stories of defeating the Emperor's enemies are grand, to say the least. He tells you tales of defeating orcs and Dark Eldar, defeating a powerful orc knob in single combat, armed with little more than a butter knife.
Oh wow! I'm going to share the story of dragging a giant shale crow out of the sky.
I'm going to feign a lot of interest this time. I'm going to feign interest.
Give me a fellowship roll, Dick, for your story about the shale crow.
Recite the story for a +10 or something.
With a +20, because it literally did happen.
Do you want to recite it?
If you wish.
One day on our campus, me and the gang were looking for my chief's wife and child, well, pregnant child, only to find it had been eaten inside a giant shale crow, which I had. It was trying to escape from my attack, and I dragged it out of the sky with my KO shrug and slew the beast. It is a magnificent act, and I'll just round up like that before it goes on. Okay?
Give me a fellowship test with +20.
Yeah! See. Bit of conversation bonus. Fuck. What's fellowship? Is it just? It's only a main.
Yeah, I mean you can use charm if you want, but I don't know how much better it would be.
It doesn't matter. Sorry, I was looking in all my stats, forgetting my main stats in the middle. Oh, 0.2. I'm going to use my last fate point for this.
Use your last fate point.
Ooh, crap story, Pincher.
It was. I've never been I'm a doer.
I mean, I'll be fair. It was much better to be there when it happened.
Yeah, had to be there.
I've never been a good storyteller.
Yeah, 5.8.
Great story, Pincher.
Okay.
Fucking amazing
story. After telling the story, Lord Strophes sits back in his chair and laughs heartily, banging the table with his hand. Julia looks somewhat impressed, and Lord Strophes says, "Oh, what a tale! A tale of righteous combat against the Empress. Let me tell you a tale." He says, around shit, and I'm going to make up a number, but I think it's wrong. Around 70 years ago. No, it's more than that. Around 120 years ago, I was in service to your master. And you realise at this point that Lord Strophes is starting to get a little bit drunk. And he's maybe getting a little loose-lipped. And he says, around 120 years ago, I was a mere lieutenant commander aboard a ship whose name I will give you later because I can't remember the name of the ship. But it's not important. I worked with your master, Varrak. But I didn't know I worked with your master, Lord Varrak. We were out in the middle of nowhere, hunting for a group of pirates and smugglers that had been supplying arms and armaments to the arch enemy. Yes. And Julia says, "Father, I think you should be..." Shut up, Julia, shut up.
This is interesting. Go on.
Shut up, Julia!
Shut up, you fucking whore! You fucking dirty slag! No.
Hey, that window open.
Oh shit! Yeah. Sorry. So, I'm gonna end up on the fucking. This will not be the first time I've ended up on a police watch list. But anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, Lord Strophes goes on and says, "We were out in the asteroid cluster, looking for the base of operations of a group of pirates and smugglers known as the Serrated Quarry."
That's fucking amazing.
That shouldn't have been as funny as it was. We were there for days, weeks. We couldn't find them. I was merely running errands for the captain. He kept me away from the precious cargo, as he kept calling it. Anyway, eventually, we didn't find the precious quarry. The Serrated Quarry. They found us. They attacked us. attacked us from 3 sides simultaneously. We had no idea they were coming. They tore our ship to pieces, obliterated the shields, damaged the gala field, annihilated the warp drive. We were limp, pathetic, weak, left alone, limping along in space. The bridge crew were destroyed in the process. I found myself lurking in the lower decks when I heard banging on a pipe. I found a door that I opened to the quarters of one of our VIP guests. Yes. I assumed, of course, that these VIPs aboard our ship were all just toffee-nosed ninnies with no concept of what it was like to fight in a real war. But as it happened, it was Globus Varak. I didn't know him at the time, but I found him severely wounded. He'd lost an arm, as a matter of fact, and his legs were all crispy and charred and frozen, exposure to the void. But I dragged him out. Yes. Oh, Globus. Oh, had a little thing for the ladies back in his day.
You were the man who saved Globus Varak.
You're damn right I saved his life. Why do you think I ended up serving him for so long, the bastard? Anyway, I dragged him clear.
What a man you are.
Dragged him clear, I did. Indeed, we took him to the Medicaid center. Everything was fantastic. Just little all over the place, up the walls and around the lights and the sparkling. There was many of them, many. But yes, Globus controlled the whole situation from the Medicaid center. Never left. Managed to somehow conduct a whole operation from the Medicaid center with a woman. What was her name? A sister. What was her name? Can't remember. Anyway, she helped him get better the pain. She nulled that, and he looked after us all, and he rallied us, and we found them, the bastards of the serrated query, and obliterated them all. Every single one of them. Eh? It's a little bit Boris Johnson, a little bit that fucking lunatic from the Fast Show.
Very, very
very warp corrupted. Dragged us back. He did. He brought us from the brink of oblivion, and we destroyed the serrated query bastards. We did all of them, or so we thought. I heard rumors later that some of them got away, some of them escaped. Oh, Globus, he never believed it. But the bastards. And as he's saying this, he begins to draw in the small puddle of spilt wine on the table a symbol with his fingertip. But we got them all. We destroyed what we could, despite all the rumors that they still lived. But as a result of that, I was given captaincy of, and I've forgotten the name of the ship, but it's the name of a ship you would all know, and it is the flagship of the Calexis battle fleet. And I'll let you know what the name is next session. I served aboard that ship for almost a century, occasionally assisting Globus and taking his acolytes around the sector and what have you. And he finishes drawing this shape in the wine. And the shape he draws looks like a question mark, but upside down and barbed along one side.
The serrated query. And
you realise you've all seen this symbol before. The first time you saw it was in the Koskala district, where you brought down the chirurgeon. It was on the door of the apothecary you visited. Pincher, you've seen it before as a tattoo on the arm of Silas Malor.
Siegfried has a strip of his flesh.
Siegfried also has a strip of his flesh, but Siegfried's not here. It's a symbol that each of you have encountered at least twice. The symbol of the serrated query. This organization that Varak hunted.
Yeah, we didn't have a name for it until now, did we?
Nope.
No, we didn't. We'll say, here!
I'm going to raise my glass and...
He raises his glass and sloshes it all over and says, "In the name of the Emperor, and by golly, in the name of the blasted Inquisition, and all they do." And he raises his biomechanical arm once more.
Death to the Emperor's enemies!
Indeed! Indeed, young Vladimir!
Death to the serrated query, or whatever it's called. Is it serrated query? Is it serrated query?
And after a night of frivolity and drinking and feasting in this noble's house, this former naval officer who seems to have ties and a lot of history with Varric, you all retire to bed, and that's where we'll leave it.